guys react to the internet. Hi.
Hello, the internet.
Hey, what's up, internet?
Didn't see you standing there.
It's your boy.
Do you come here often?
BMFcast.
Internet.
Gonna pop out that chat, change it to live, and we can make podcast magic.
Live, chat, love. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha.
Oh, yeah.
Ha 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 ha.
Yes, we need extra illumination on your face.
Oh, I had it
Whoa!
backwards.
Ah, that was my face.
Ha! Wake up! Wake up!
You wanted to.
Let's give me a warm light.
A warm crepuscular glow.
Stop the thesaurus talk.
I
Okay, Curtis on Letterboxd said, the pair are on the trail of a techno-savvy serial killer who dresses up like Zorro and finger bangs the hearts of his victims.
Is that Kurt the Rock?
No, this is different.
Other Kurt.
Yeah, this is Curtis.
Oh, Curtis.
Yeah.
Curtis Blow, Low. I mean, because there's two. It's Leonard Skinner rapping. So. I'm taking a cue from this movie. There was a lot going on, so I don't know if you heard me say it or not, but when they were pushing that vending machine into that man, all of the chips were turned around the wrong way so that they didn't have to show any of the labels.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything in the vending machine
Yep.
was in there backwards, even the peanuts and shit. So I have turned my soda pop around as to not show, well, okay, there's still a logo on the back.
Oh, no.
Not that anyone would not know what a Coke bottle looks like. I said it. And by that I mean cocaine.
So, this director has 7 other movies.
I don't think we want to watch the one after this one. I looked at the plot. I don't think it's for us.
Which one is it?
It's like lamb something about a lamb. I think it's the one after this one. I thought it was because I think he only made one movie after this, or maybe it's after Super Fights.
Yeah, there's, in 2004, he has Ultimate Fight.
Okay, not that.
Yeah, there's one in 1993 called Insanity.
Maybe
One in 94 called Satin Steel. Guns of Dragon in
maybe
93.
I'm thinking of the guy that did Super Fights because I looked up a couple people while we were watching this.
Thunderclap in 84. Vendetta in 93.
There was one that was like an abused kid. The kid was abused by his mother and then grows up and mutilates and messes with women. And I was like, yeah, I don't think we.
No.
Let's not watch that.
Let's see. Because I know the writer had also done No Retreat, No Surrender and King of the Kickboxers.
That's a good pedigree.
And then he did WatchUsDie.com in 2001.
Watch Us Die.
WatchUsDie.com.
Okay.
Let's see what that is. Murder has just logged in.
Oh, that's the worst chat room to be in. Oh, God damn it. There was a conversation.
If you saw what you thought was a murder on the internet, what would you do? Who would you call?
I've seen that like a million times, and I did nothing except for look at the next link.
Yeah. You wouldn't download a murder.
Yes, I would.
I mean, my own? No, probably not, but others? Yeah.
I might download my own murder. That'd be interesting.
Okay. Depends if we're like 3D printing it or not, I guess. That's the thing is like, are you just watching it or is it like a MP4 or
Oh, that's what it is. It's
it's
fucking.
MKV?
All right, here's the next horror movie.
Uh-huh.
You
No.
download a 3D printer file that hacks your 3D printer to make a
murder bot.
no, just
A plastic murder
a
bot.
plastic thing that springs off of your 3D printer and kills you. Yeah, I love it. But it looks like a regular.
I mean, of course, the movie has to be in 3D.
Yeah,
I mean,
why not?
yeah.
Sure, let's go. It'll be the last 3D movie ever made.
Mm-hmm. That's not true.
The call is coming from inside the Predator.
Actually, I think 3D is going to come back in a big way, but not in the traditional like put on glasses and go to a theater sense. I just think that like when VR stops being so cumbersome, one of the benefits of being able to watch things and that is a more immersive 3D experience. And so I think.
So what do you see? Something kind of like a 3DS?
I just see like glasses that like you can put on and don't weigh 20 pounds and batteries run out in 3 minutes. You know, that's all. Like just like something that's more akin to what I have on my face right now, but is, you know, screens also. You know, so I think that's where people will need to be is to just adopt VR and not feel ridiculous. Because even the Apple ones, I mean, even if it's Apple, they still look stupid. No one's going to put those on their face.
Those look dumb, and they last for 2 hours unless you jack them into the wall.
Yeah, so
they need to fix that part.
Yeah, I mean, power's going to be the biggest hold up of VR going portable, truly portable.
I also think they got the marketing wrong on that one.
They're not marketing anything right now. This is just like, this is total like. We are experimenting with this. If you want to buy it while we do market research, you can. Otherwise, fuck off, because this isn't for you. I believe that's what the attitude is. It's like, if you want to throw money at us while we figure out what we're doing in this field, feel free. You know, you can be like the people that suffered through the first iPod until we got it right. Yeah, because I mean, let's be honest. Like, the iPod wasn't really a good device until about the video iPod, or maybe the photo iPod, but.
Photo iPod's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, until then, they were kind of shitty, like, operating-wise. They were the best thing we had, but by comparison, they were
My photo
shitty.
one still runs, but it's like the size of a deck of cards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're
and
big.
heavier.
I had an iPod Video, 80 gig, and that thing was, except for the fact that I had to fuck with iTunes for it.
Right.
Because that was the goddamn worst, because I didn't have a Mac.
Oh, Jesus.
And
Yeah.
look, you could have figured out how to run fucking iTunes on a Windows machine, but you didn't.
Honestly, I believe all of their PC software was self-sabotaging. Like, in terms of, like, look at how bad this is, please come to our ecosystem.
Yeah.
I mean,
and
honestly.
if that's true, then
Yeah.
double fuck them.
Yeah.
But as far as the device, it was great.
Yeah.
It was a fantastic device. Like, once I got music on there, finally.
It was great. I'm saying, like,
Battery life
took a couple generations to get there. Same thing with the phone. The first iPhone was pretty fucking useless. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Got email and had a prettier text message system. That's about it. Like,
Had a browser, right?
Yeah, it wasn't. No, they put apps in later.
Yeah, they didn't. No apps. I mean, it had Safari, yes, but I mean, at this point,
Right.
it would be. I'm sure it hasn't been kept up, so it would be useless. But yeah, I'm just saying, like, you know, think back. What? God, how long is it now? 15 years that we've had. So
It's been a while.
yeah, I mean, yeah, just think back like then to now, where what we can do with phones, and it's like, yeah, that was silly. Now we can just point the camera at something, and it's like, oh, that's a box of macaroni. Here's the nearest place you can buy it, and oh wait, I've already added it to your cart, and it's just like, yeah, no, it's just all like, it just does everything. Anywho, that's enough for tech talk. Let's talk about movies.
Oh shit! I should
Like Gary Daniels.
open up YouTube.
You should.
YouTube /BMFcast. Return. Hey.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I mean, I want VR shit to be nice and cool and not. I mean, I actually think I do want something more like the Apple thing to be a reality than true VR. I mean, because that has the potential to be full VR, but I think AR based things are going to be the future. That's what I think is like going to be cool. Is like walk around with glasses and there's your directions and contact information just right there in your periphery. Yeah.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, the Apple ones look real fucking dumb on your face.
Oh, absolutely, they all do.
And it's really hard to get, because of the way the human eye works, it's really hard to get something like our glasses this close to your face that you can read on.
Oh, absolutely. It'd
So-
be impossible for me without them also being like they. I mean, the image would have to be focused for my farsightedness. That's the only way it could work. I mean, at that close, I don't think you could put. I'd
Well,
have to
you
put
just can't.
contacts on.
You just can't focus anything that close.
Yeah.
Is basically what the problem is. We have to figure out a way to fake it.
Yeah.
As long as they look normal, that's all I care about. Because I saw Google Glass once in the wild,
I really didn't
and
think
I
those looked
just
so stupid.
I instinctively wanted to kill that person.
I mean,
Like, I'm not joking. I wanted to beat the fuck out of them
I don't
as soon
get
as
that
I
'cause
saw it.
those didn't look that.
They did.
I mean,
They did. And it was like the one eye thing. I was like, oh, no. You're going to die in this Jimmy John's, and it's not going to be pretty.
clearly you've never seen someone with an Oculus Quest on their face.
Not in the wild. no.
Okay.
No, people stay in their homes with an Oculus Quest, like you're supposed to.
Never leave.
I'm just saying, like, if you
That's
think
my
Google
advice.
Glass looks silly, I mean, clearly you've never seen any other VR headset being used. I mean, you've used one. So.
Google Glass, not a VR headset,
Right.
but
Yeah.
biggest mistake that they made with that was putting a camera on it because people freaked out.
Like,
Yeah.
and that makes no sense to me. Like, I mean,
I
look,
know everybody's got a camera on their phone, but
I mean, and there's cameras fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why that's the sticking point with people.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm generally like kind of a oh my god, I just Cory Doctorow, all those people. Like, I mean, I'm generally like a please leave my fucking information alone, and
Yeah.
like those kind of people. But like, I really at that point, I'm just like, that's your sticking point. Is like, there's a camera there, whereas like every fucking car now has 8 cameras pointing in every fucking direction, and like that's your sticking point. Okay,
And everybody-
this camera, okay,
everybody's putting cameras in their fucking bedrooms
and
that
doorbells and
doorbells,
I mean,
yeah.
like, yeah.
I can't understand the cameras in your house.
That's
people.
I don't get that either.
Fuck you. No, I'm not letting Google I mean, okay, yeah, I know I have let Google have a camera in my house with my phone, but people just let it record all the time.
Ours point at the dogs, but it's got we've like literally blocked off everything else, so all it
Is
can
that the
see-
one that I already know about?
No,
Oh,
you
different
never unless you went in my bedroom.
Was it
Once.
Was it disguised in a
I think
teddy
I was
bear?
looking
Oh, that's
for-
right, because the door was open or something, right?
I think I was looking for a blanket for the
Yeah.
dogs. Looking for a dag blanket. And your secrets.
Yeah, not much there.
Your secret is all of your underwear are newer than I expected.
And they're not that new.
Yeah, still newer than I expected. Yeah, they at least smell nice though.
I have a wife who does laundry.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like my fruits from the original loom.
Yeah. It's funny now, like in the old house, the washer and dryer were out in the garage, so she just refused to do laundry. So I did laundry for 8 years or whatever that was. And now it's in the house, she loves doing laundry. She does it all the time. I'm like, oh sweet, I never have to do fucking laundry. This is
Nice.
the best.
actually, your whatever detergent you use does smell really good because I washed some clothes with it.
Yeah.
I've forgotten what it is now.
It was the big ass thing of Tide, I think, but it's like
This guy really
Febreze
likes Tide.
flavor or something. I don't know.
Febreze.
Can I put
flavor.
my feet up?
Yeah. So it was like
I don't remember. I just
Sport-
noticed like
sporty clean
Yeah.
flavor.
I just
Yeah.
put my shirt on after
You're like, hey,
washing it. And I was like,
it's
I
not
get
bad.
I've been using the free and clear stuff because everybody was like, "Oh, you should use free and clear. It's less harsh on your skin and everything."
Yeah.
But
I do it because if I do anything other than that, it makes me sweat like a motherfucker. I don't know what it is. The dyes and the regular stuff, like
Really?
it's an allergy thing. So
Yeah, makes sense.
yeah,
yeah, I'm going to specifically your laundry is the reason that I'm going to switch to a flavored laundry soap.
Well, tell you, it doesn't taste like it smells.
Well, that's okay.
Making sure you understand that.
I do. I may be a millennial, but I'm not a Tide Pod eating millennial.
Oh, good. The first thing underneath our stuff on the right here on YouTube
Yeah.
suggested Cats Don't Dance. YouTube movies and TV. Comedy, 1997. Free. Rated G.
Cool. I'm glad it's free.
They want me to watch Cats Don't Dance after finishing the live stream. Of
they know us
That
so
is
well.
your
Blood
own
Moon.
YouTube because mine is
Yours doesn't?
recommending a video about the USS Franklin surviving a comet strike.
Yeah, why is mine recommending a whole bunch of cartoons? This doesn't make any fucking sense. I never watch cartoons.
It knows
It's
you.
probably because I watched fucking Ahsoka. It's like, that's a
probably
cartoon. Anyway.
That's why he didn't want you to go to his bedroom, because if you go and open the closet, it's just like piles of anime fall
Yeah.
out.
Yes.
Just huge piles, shame piles of anime. The tentacle stuff's in the back.
Yeah, it is.
All right, well, let's talk about moons.
Okay.
Sure.
BLOOD, that spells moon. All right, and welcome to the BMFcast.
Hey, BMFcast.
Episode 588.
Ooh.
Ah, numbers go up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
And what we do each and every episode of this here BMFcast is we go and we watch ourselves a quote-unquote bad movie. Then we come in here and talk about it. Then they get ratings. Good bad movies, enjoyable bad movies. They get 1 to 5 jocks and robot jocks.
Robot Jock.
Robot Jocks. It's pretty good.
That's what we like. However, there are bad bad movies, and stay away. They get a negative sliding scale 1 to 5 bags, as in giant bags of trash.
Boo.
We don't like those.
That way we dispose of them in.
Do not want.
So,
So,
I thought we were on 587 because I thought POW was 586.
it was.
is it? Really?
Yeah. Should we
How did
start
I
over?
skip the number then?
Shit, I don't know, man.
Well, I gotta fucking change the live screen then too. But I guess we can do that later.
You can just say 587 and then say Boston,
we're
can you
we're
please-
2 seconds into it. I
Can
can
you please
start over.
replace
It's
that?
okay. I have all of those words in my power, in my capacity.
Sorry,
say again.
Boston.
My bad. All right. Disregard first clap. All right, and welcome to the BMFcast.
Hey, BMFcast.
Episode 587.
Ooh, I like that one.
Yeah.
That's like
better number.
5 murders. So I'm Harlow,
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
and what we do each and every episode of this here BMFcast is we go and watch ourselves a quote-unquote bad movie. Then we come in here and talk about it. Then they get ratings. Good bad movies, enjoyable bad movies. They get 1 to 5 jocks and robot jocks.
Robot Jocks.
However, there are bad movies, and stay away. They get a negative sliding scale 1 to 5 bags and giant bags of trash.
Boo.
In which they belong for disposal. So, we are returning. Several BMFcast alums are returning. It's time for Gary Daniels.
Gary Daniels.
Hell yeah, Gary
our-
Daniels.
Awful inappropriate because he's not at all Australian accents. Because he just sounds like he is, though he's not. And the director of, I believe, Super Fights.
Yes.
Yes.
Hell yes, the director of Super
Name I
Fights.
didn't look up, so sorry.
It's Soo-Hung Young.
Yeah, I got that.
Written by Keith Strandberg, who also wrote Super Fights,
Mm-hmm.
King of the Kickboxers, and No Retreat, No Surrender.
That's pretty good.
That's a pretty good filmography
not
so
bad.
far.
Yeah. I mean, the most basic way to describe this movie is that there is a serial killer going around killing martial arts champions of different schools, whatever you call it, styles. And first there is a cop chasing him, and then eventually gets partnered with Gary Daniels, who has more or less retired from the force because he went through some shit. Like his last case, I guess he got captured, nearly killed. It's kind of vague. It's shown in like vague flashback sort of
Yeah.
form, and really not even sure what the impetus is. That's all in another movie. But yeah, he's kind of retired and done with that life, and then they have to team up, and because it's the world that it is, everybody knows karate.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing. And I mean, so I think the thing you have to understand about this and Super Fights and what make them great is that they exist in that quasi superhero world where everything is just ramped up to a degree. Like everyone has a silly costume or just a thing that
It's like wrestling,
yeah.
but if the world was wrestling.
Yes. That's probably even a better way to say it. It's the theatricality of wrestling. I mean,
If the world was a wrestling federation,
Yeah.
cool.
Like if everyone just walked around being like, oh, I'll have a tuna sandwich.
that sounds like it would be entertaining. Now,
It would. and that's why this movie's entertaining.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything is over the top, including Detective Chuck,
Also from Super Fights.
also from Super Fights, also incredibly committed to his Eddie Murphy impersonation.
It's bizarre. Like I feel like he did not start with that, and then like the second scene, he was like, "What if I did this whole thing as Eddie Murphy?" Because the first scene, it was just like I do unnecessary
I felt it
stunts.
from the beginning. It
Really?
was, yeah.
I just felt like he was doing unnecessary stunts and magic. I didn't catch the Eddie Murphy-ness in his dialect until like the second scene when it was just like, oh.
Yeah,
oh.
when he's talking to his police chief, Frank Gorshin.
Yes. The Riddler from 66 Batman, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, but Gorshin's dialed up to like 32 out of 10 because
Yeah.
every scene
Isn't
he
he
enters,
always? I don't think I've ever seen Frank Gorshin not
he is
dialed up.
fired up. Every scene when he comes in, he's just like, "God damn it, Chuck!"
Yeah. Yeah,
He's going for it though. Like,
Yeah.
This is what you
I
want
mean,
out
that's
of your
the thing.
enraged
Everyone
police
in this
chief.
movie is going for it,
Yeah.
and that's what's so great about it. It's just like King of the Kickboxers was. Everyone going for
Yeah.
it.
I want to say something right now for people to keep in mind throughout the rest of our review / recap. This is a perfect Gary Daniels vehicle because it does not rely on Gary Daniels to carry it.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't show up till probably 15, 20 minutes
Yep.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we start the movie with some guy who's a boxing champion who's the only one left in the gym sparring. And that's when we get the theatricality of the killer, who I don't believe is ever named. Even in the credits, he's just called the killer.
Okay. Sure. But yeah, I mean...
Oh, actually, no, they do name him at one point when they figure things out, but he's been apparently declared dead, so they
I'm confused by
say
that.
it very briefly.
Because I thought they were talking about the Dustin Hoffman looking guy, but who doesn't look like
No.
Dustin Hoffman at all. He does in the picture, but
Yeah.
when they show him in person, he doesn't look like it at all. But I mean, I thought they
Yeah,
were talking about
I-
he
I-
was the one that was dead. It was like, oh, okay, they've just narrowed it down to our actual killer, except
No.
apparently not.
No.
Anywho, yes, we first see his boots. That's the first thing we see is like
Yeah.
a shot of his boots walking in, and they're cowboy boots, no spurs, but they have
But
both.
they make the spur jingle.
They make the spur jingle because they're both steel tipped and also like steel heel wrapped, I guess you'd call in sneaker terms.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
maybe he has an Achilles heel,
Perhaps,
and he's protecting
it's
it.
a little low, but yeah, I mean, yeah, it's pretty much like anywhere that the foot would make contact when kicking somebody, it's going to have a steel edge.
Yeah.
So. But that's not all of it because we just see that and we're like, all right, this guy means business. But then he just does he just leap into the ring?
No, he's just standing in a doorway.
Yeah,
like
I thought he popped himself into the ring and challenged
No,
him from
he
inside. the
made
ring or
some
something.
noise,
Okay.
and the boxer dude went to investigate the lockers, and he was just there in the
Yeah.
ring. Yeah, he didn't poof.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
He
But
just
yeah, he's
appeared.
he's kind of got a Zorro-esque mask. I mean, it's like a black and white Zorro
It's
mask.
Phantom meets Zorro. you
Yeah.
know, 4-0.
Which he takes off after like 10 seconds of fighting.
Yeah, he usually takes it off.
But then kind of a cape, sort of. It's like a weird wrap. It's not a full cape. I mean, not like superhero cape. It's more like
Somewhere between a duster and a cape.
yeah, just like
You know.
it's just like a thing he can just kind of throw off like a like wrestling attire. Like all right, now it's time to fight. Just a drape of some
Yeah.
sort.
Yeah, it feels almost like a wrestling Mortal Kombat character.
Yes. Yeah, and that's really the vibe you get right off the beginning because I mean this dude that he's fighting, it looks like a video game character too. I mean, he kind of looks like real life DJ from Street Fighter 2 or Super Street Fighter 2.
Yeah,
Don't get pedantic on me, nerds. I know.
Yeah, but he's got like the long dreads,
Yeah.
and he's got kind of that same movement,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
'Cause he's a fighter, but yeah, it's they proceed to have a fight, and the thing is, like, the guy gets a few hits in on him, but the killer just works him over.
Yeah, I mean, he just starts kicking him with steel boots and
Yeah, and that's the thing is, like, nobody ever calls him out on basically cheating. Because he's like, oh, you're not so good at fighting now, are you? And it's like, dude, you have steel-tipped boots you're kicking me with.
I mean, as he says,
I'm
somewhere
hitting you
in-
with fists.
he's about to like crush the guy's head. He's got him like up against a gym bench, and he's like about to do the scissor kick down and crush
Yeah.
his head, and the guy dies out of the way. And of course, his steel boot goes through the bench. But at that point is when he declares like whatever it takes to win. It's like there are no rules. It's so I mean, he
Yeah,
clearly
'cause-
doesn't have any
Yeah,
kind of
because the
like,
guy's like, all right, we can stop now. And he's like, no.
okay,
You don't
you
have
can
the
stop.
killer instinct.
You won.
Yeah. Yeah. But we won't get into it a ton, but the fight scenes are good.
Yeah.
They're good. They're choreographed. They're like ultra choreographed.
Some of them, I mean,
But
well,
they're still
the
good.
second one in particular, because he deals with the quasi DJ guy, and this guy ends up dead. I believe he chucks him out a window after he's done with them, and that's where the police find him. But the second
No,
guy,
they just find him on like he basically kicks him into the lockers and like dents in
right.
the lockers and smashes.
oh, maybe
him
it's
there, I
maybe it's the
believe.
next guy he kicks.
Yeah.
He defenestrates, or Rob Van defenestrates out the window. But yeah,
because it's Rob Van Dam.
yes, he goes after RVD next, who is apparently like the brawling champion. Like,
I think he was just
street
the
brawling.
tough man
champion. Yeah.
Yeah. Is what
but
they declare earlier.
what I was going to get to is like what really amps up in the second murder fight that he has is the cutaway shots, like the reaction fights to getting kicked with the steel boots or whatever as RVD is selling. I mean, he's a wrestler. He is selling every single hit really, really well. And the camera is like almost like the carnival operator that knows the tilt-a-whirl really well, like where to stand and fuck with you as it's coming around really fast. Like you know, they've got the camera perfectly stationed so that when he gets flung around, his face is like right there in the cameras.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's all filmed well and clearly done by people that understand fight choreography.
Oh yeah.
Though, it is still low budget, so you will see, if you don't see the full-on wire, you'll at least see clothes tucked up from the wire, or, I mean, there's like boom mics throughout the movie. Really not as bad as some we've seen, but especially in the PlayStation 1's scenes, the boom mic is always dipping in.
Yeah.
But I think this may have just been a blown up,
An open
frame copy of this movie, too.
Yeah.
So.
But, and the thing about every set they're in, because of all the wires and everything, every room they enter is like 14 foot ceilings.
Yeah, at least double height ceilings in like every single place they go.
Yeah,
even like the dingiest little bar with like, I mean, because RVD's bar is like, apparently he has a bar because it's just like he's got a lady, a bimbo, if you would to call it in 80s music video terms, and a pinball table, and they're about to get busy tilting that thing, and that's when the killer guy walks in, starts his shit, and kills his girl. Actually,
they said he did not kill her. He just knocked her unconscious.
There was a neck snap. There was a clear neck snap.
I know there was, but the cops later said he did not kill her.
Okay, that's some bullshit.
For whatever reason.
But I was going to bring up, like, so this kid, I don't think you can, like, I'm trying to think of, like, how to describe the way the guy looks without, like, being too wrong. I mean, he kind of looks like, if you remember, like, the Daniel Day-Lewis Last of the Mohicans, he kind of looks like the one, like really rebel badass, like Indian dude, Native American dude. Sorry, I'm just saying, But I'm saying, like, he just looks like he's got long hair. He's like, he's just cut. Like, he just looks angry even when he's standing still. If he's just got that kind of physique, and he begins. I only point this out because he begins this fight with RVD. After it, apparently, he looks like he's just snapped his girlfriend's neck. The name of the movie is Bloodmoon, and his thing is, I guess maybe he's only killing people when the blood moon happens, even though it seems like it's every couple days.
Dropped.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like he's just killing. Yeah,
right?
It's implied that like he only goes out and kills these people on the blood moon, but then it also seems like he's just every 2 days he's killing somebody. But he walks in.
Maybe blood moons are a lot more common than we thought.
It's true, maybe. But he walks in and quotes fucking Van Morrison at RVD. He's like, it's like, what a lovely day for moon deaths. It's just like, I don't know. There's something funny about this evil Zorro dude, like going home and popping on a Van Morrison LP is like hilarious to me. It's like, sorry I killed your brown-eyed girl.
Well, RVD's just like, well, let's fucking dance then. Just doesn't even acknowledge it.
Yeah. But I'll say this about the fights too, is they use the environments well and smashing dudes into stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's all sorts of stuff smashing into stuff.
God, they smash so much stuff. And smash dudes into stuff.
Yes.
And chuck people through things. But I feel like Rob Van Dam is the one who gets chucked into things the most. Because it's a bar, so it's like against the back wall, smash him into everything.
Yeah, into the pool table, and then, of course, there's bottles, and he tries to fight back with the bottle, which, I don't think we mentioned that our killer guy, and it's never explained why, but he is missing 2 fingers, and they were replaced with metal fingers. His
index and his middle finger on his right hand.
Yeah. Because there's a scene where he has to gear up his metal fingers, but
doesn't he also cover them with regular-looking finger cuffs or something?
I think at some points he does.
Sheaths.
Yeah,
maybe to hide his advantage. But yeah, like RVD goes at him with a beer bottle, and he just kind of deflects it with the metal fingers and shatters it.
Yeah,
supposed to just look cool, but like we know the secret.
Because there's of course like a metallic sound effect whenever they hit anything, including someone's face, which the Foley artists in this again are working overtime.
Yeah,
and
good job.
I for one appreciate
Well
your
played.
service,
Yeah.
Foley artists.
You're the unsung heroes of the movie industry.
Yeah, but his killer move, his finishing move on all these guys, is he's got the two fingers that are steel, and he basically just stabs them into the person's heart.
Yeah, he sort of like Mola runs his two fingers into their heart.
Well, as listener Curtis put it in his letterbox review, he finger bangs their heart
okay,
with his metal fingers.
It's poetry, Curtis. Well done.
Yeah, but it that's not always it though, because he'll finger bang them in the heart, and then he has to chuck them through a window somehow.
Well, that's important.
Because there are plenty of defenestrations, and actually I think he does not stab Rob Van Dam. He just snaps his neck, and it's a cool move where like he like flips him entirely over.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like he's
looks
standing
like it
on
should
one
be a
side of
wrestling
him.
finisher.
Yeah, like he's standing on one side of him, and he like literally chucks his entire body over him while holding his neck, and breaks his neck that way,
it's
and
sort
then
of like,
chucks him out.
Yeah, sort of like a half German suplex into neck breaker.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
And put actual neck breaker, not the move.
Yeah. Yeah, and from here they're like, all right, we got to get Gary Daniels in on the case. He's retired, but he knows what he's doing.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think we get a little bit of like him, fucking around with his family.
We do get introduced because he's divorced or separated. I don't think it's made entirely clear, but he's taking the daughter out to the beach and he's playing with her, and of course, somehow somebody rides a motorcycle down the boardwalk. He grabs his daughter to get out of the way and knocks a 7-Up out of a guy's hand, who spills it on himself, and then wants to pick a fight over this, despite like him literally keeping his daughter from dying 2 seconds earlier.
I think you
from
can
getting
see
run over
you
by
can see
a
that
motorbike.
Gary Daniels was sprightly.
No, it was 7-Up. Damn it.
Oh,
But
I know, but that's the.
He was
friction.
just trying to make 7-Up yours.
Oh, there it is.
He just really Sierra missed him.
Yeah, but either way, like this is also our first real clue that everyone in this world knows karate, because he gets in a fight with the dude and starts beating him up, and then the dude's friends jump in. 2 of them jump in with jump kicks, like just midair, foot into the frame, jump kicks at him, and it's like, okay, this is the world we live in.
How do
It was
you enter fights?
1997.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't enter a fight jump kicking, you're probably going to lose that fight. I mean, I'm just.
Or you land and you twist your ankle and then you lose that fight.
No.
But yeah, but Gary Daniels, he makes incredibly quick work of these dudes.
Yeah. And he's vaguely traumatized by it as well. He's like, I'm sorry I had to kill someone in front of you.
Yeah,
the worst.
Well,
Gary
yeah,
Daniels
because the
impersonation.
guy shoves the daughter down. Because when he's trying to fight Gary Daniels, the daughter like grabs him by the arms, like, "Don't do that," and he shoves her into a seat. And then you see Gary, the rage boils up.
Yeah.
But it's we just okay. It's established. He's Gary Daniels.
Yeah.
He knows how to fight.
The,
We all knew
the
this.
partners don't come together until the third murder, which is what ends up being Gary Daniels' former master.
Yeah,
Because that's what actually finally puts them together. Is no, I'm sorry. They do come together. He tries to recruit Gary Daniels, and Gary Daniels is like, "I'm retired. Fuck off." And then it takes the master dying before he's like, "All right, I'm in." But they try to put him together. Like, this is a guy you need to work with. And he's like, "I'm retired," and the other guy's not having it. It's like, "You're a coward." They're just pretty much a dog.
Yeah, they're very much like Chuck is very antagonistic towards him immediately.
Yeah.
So I guess he's like, I don't need any help. I can crack this case on my own.
Yeah. And then fake mustache master gets murdered in his dojo. I mean, this guy just has a straight up dojo in
and we
New
get
York.
we get a pretty sweet sword fight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering, like, did they add the sparks later, or is that like, is there something you would put on swords that would cause
they make
them
stunt
to
swords
do that?
out of different metals that spark metal more
Right,
than
yeah.
Okay,
traditional
so that's
steel.
probably what that was, because it looks cool as shit, And I was like, man, did they just like keep adding that every time,
Yeah.
or is it's something
also,
in the metal that they use
real
that makes them
sword
spark?
people would do everything in their power to avoid an edge-on-edge contact.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just going to dull your blade and fuck it up. So,
Yeah, you're generally not going to get that out of real swords,
Right.
but it's a very cool stunt sword thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, I mean they fight
and he's live streaming it.
Yeah, he's
Early,
live streaming
1997 live stream.
Yeah, he's live streaming it back to the police station for some
Directly
reason,
to the police,
maybe only there. I don't know, but he's wearing a dumb like Kenpo mask, but it's like
it looks like Kenpo flying nun.
Yeah, it's like flying nunchucks.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, it's just it doesn't fit his head right, and like all of the extra padding is like sticking out weird. It just looks really dumb. But eventually, I mean, the master guy does eventually like knock all of the armor bits off him until he's, unmasked, and still the guy doesn't really remember him. That's the great thing is like this. They have not really even established what his motive is for killing these people at this point, and you would think. I mean, for what we're being shown in the movie, you think he's coming back to challenge his old master, is what it seems like.
Yeah.
I mean, any other movie, this would be the Storm Shadow's like, hey, you kicked me out, I'm going to murder you now moment. And, but when he takes his mask off, the guy's like, who are you? And I'm like, I'm very confused by what's happening right now. So, yeah. But, he ends up murdering that guy. But then when Detective Chuck comes over to check it out, he's also rigged the place to explode.
Yeah, because he's live streamed it with with an old camcorder, a laptop, and a really old cell phone in a briefcase. Yeah. So he's live streamed it to the police, and then what's funny is Chuck and the cop on the desk are like, "Hey, this is a pretty good fight scene in this movie. What is this?
Yeah, who's in this one?"
And then like what happens is the old guy gets chucked into it, knocks the camera over, and it shows a close up of his face, and Chuck goes, "Wait a minute, I know that guy. Yeah. Holy shit!"
He lives right around the corner.
Yeah, so he hops on his bike to get there and races there, and he tells her, call a squad, whatever.
Well, it's funny because like they set up a fake out stunt. I mean, honestly, like I don't know why you would put this in this movie. Like, why would you get the truck to do what it does in this movie, other than like your brain is like, here comes a stunt, because he's racing down the road on his Triumph motorcycle. A semi pulls out in front of him with the bed blocking the 2-lane highway that he's on. If you've ever seen a movie, you're like, slide that bike under that semi truck.
Yeah.
That's what you do. But he doesn't. He just stops normal. The truck moves, and then we're like, well, that was kind of weird. But then he walks up to the door, and it's like fucking blown away. It's just like boom. It's just
as he's about to open the door, and there's a reason they kept his helmet on for this scene.
Yeah.
Because he gets off the bike with the helmet still on, runs up to the door, and as soon as he touches it, just gets blasted.
Or like first step even. I mean, he's like reaching for the door and just blown backwards.
And this stuntman gets like it's a good slow mo. Like, let's watch this dude get chucked by this explosion.
Yoinked back. I mean, you can see the wire on him again.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just saying, like they yoink him back pretty hard into a car. But yeah, I mean, but the flames and everything are still real close.
Very real, right in his face.
Very real and really close. So.
Yeah,
extremely loud.
Yep. And this is how he wakes up, and they're like, they blew it up.
Yeah.
They knew you were coming, and they waited till you were there. And Gary Daniels is now he's on board because they call him, because in the middle, I think they call him in the middle of his flashback.
Yeah, I think
being tortured.
Yeah, I think he's flipping out about having the flashback, and then they're like, your old mentor, he's dead, and he has like a rage moment where he's like throws the phone down, and I love this cut. There are several like better cuts than they should be in this movie, like including what does it? Oh, the title itself, Bloodmoon, like all the circular bits of the B's and the O's and everything sort of like merge into be a moon, like a blood red moon, and then that eventually becomes, I think, a traffic light, a red light from a traffic light.
Yeah. Yep.
So they're kind of doing like match cut, moon cuts, whatever you want to call it, mooch cuts. But yeah, similar thing. He has this like sort of like and then they cut to like black, and then it ends up the camera is like inside the body, whatever you call that. What do they have like the tray in the morgue? Yeah. I don't know what you call it.
Locked slab.
Yeah, the slab. I mean, it's like inside the locked slab thing, and it like rolls out with him, and he's unmasking his old master, and like no. I was waiting for the scene to end it, going back in, but it doesn't. He's basically like, all right, I'm in because somebody I knew is dead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it took a personal stake for him to.
But then still, Chuck's like, when the chief is around, he's like, all right, we're partners and everything. As soon as like Frank Gorshin leaves the room, he's like, hey, fuck you, buddy. You're a coward. I'm doing this my own way. Stay out of my way.
Yeah. Because he's heard the rumors that he quit because he basically was traumatized by what. And I mean, the man had been tortured by the person he was trying to catch.
I suppose, that'll do it.
But he's like, no, I don't need some guy who's going to chicken out when we got to go in.
Yeah.
So. And the thing is, that never comes up ever.
No.
Because Gary Daniels, when a fight starts, he is all in every single time.
There's one scene where half a second before they are like, oh, now we are friends and we are all in together. Okay, so they're not quite partners, even though they are.
Mm-hmm.
They end up like going back to the master's house to case the joint separately. Run into each other, thinking that the killers come back to look at the scene or whatever. Get in a fight until, I mean, the one guy's flashlight ends up spinning around and creating, spins for way too long. It creates like a disco strobe effect until it finally stops perfectly on him. And they're like, "Hey, it's you!" And then they're like, "What's going on here?" And this is when we're introduced to former Mustache Man's adopted daughter Kelly,
Correct.
who shows up, and they're like, "We have to stop fighting. Who's there?" "Oh, it's Kelly." "Oh, Uncle Ken, we know each other. And what are you doing here?" And establish who she is, and she's lost her dad.
Adopted father,
sure.
I never knew she had a father.
Yeah, and so she's just in the periphery now for the rest of the movie. Well, most of the rest of the movie. I guess she dies. It's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, spoilers.
Maybe not.
Maybe not, because
he checks her pulse.
He does.
He doesn't respond to checking her pulse.
He does. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the killer declared that he had also murdered somebody else who was also not dead by the end of the movie.
It's true.
So I'm just saying, whatever. So she's now around and just kind of floating in the periphery and like following them and like, let me help. And she's of an indeterminate age until they decide she's not. It's just they play her like this is the girl who like barely old enough to be away from home. And then later it's like they're all like, hey, she's hot, right? And it's like, well, first off, she's kind of like my daughter, and you're twice her age, so what the fuck, bro? Like,
right.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah, I'm just saying it's weird.
Old enough.
Yeah.
I
I'm just
think
saying
is
like
what the movie is implying,
I'm just saying
but
only
just.
It's just saying it becomes like a weird sticking point where it's like they're treating her like a little child one second, and then like they're kind of hitting on her the next second, and it's weird.
Well, Gary Daniels
No,
isn't
absolutely
hitting
never,
on her.
not even once. Yeah.
Chuck is though.
Yeah.
Chuck wants to fuck.
And everyone else in the movie. I mean, like,
Yeah.
Anywho, but yes, so that's where they're at now. They're now, they go. Fuck, what is their? Don't they get another message? Or they go to see their hacker friend or whatever. And I think it leads to the hacker friend is what leads them to the address where they show up and they think that this is where the guy is broadcasting from. So this is where they're still kind of at odds because they get an address, they're about to bust in, they're deciding who's going to go through the door first. Chuck is like, I know this drill, I go in second. The brother always dies. Like I'm not falling for that. I'm going in first. It's or something like that to that effect. And so anyway, he busts through the door and is like, "All right, get him, Gary Daniels." And Gary, and he's like not anywhere. And all the dudes are like, "Dude, you're alone like right now." And there's like 6 of us. You're fucked. And Gary Daniels crashes through a window and takes the guys out that are about to swarm on Chuck at this point. And that was the last moment where he's like, "You goddamn coward! I knew it." And he busts through the window. Saves the day or whatever, and they are friends. They are best buddies, through thick and thin.
He jump kicks his way through the window.
Yeah, they're blood brothers.
That's how you should enter a fight.
They're Bloodmoon brothers after this. But yes, so that ends the animosity, and now they're friends. Other than like one of them is hitting on the other one's quasi daughter-ish person.
Briefly,
yeah.
He gives up on that pretty quick.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So that message is actually coming from the apartment next door, and they go kick that door in, and it's like,
well,
it's some Dennis Nedry kind of shit. Like,
yeah, the guy's got it on like an automated file. It's just like, "You're such an asshole." You're such an asshole. And he's got files on them and stuff. I don't know. I feel like some other random person gets killed that we don't even see the fight. It's just like they just show up and it's like, oh no, this person died because they. I don't remember at what point they put together that the guys maybe after Kelly with this really dumb note, but there's some point where they more officially bring her in, or she has just been kind of following around. They do this weird thing where they it's really just like the most dumb half-baked idea to have a fight scene ever, because like they've figured out that Kelly's following them. They stop and they're like, "Hey Kelly, go home, stop following us." And she's like, "I'm not gonna." And they're like, "Okay, well, follow us into this titty bar." And they go into the topless bar. She follows, and then they're just like, "Oh god, she actually follows in here." Anyway, we're gonna leave, and some guys start to hit on her. This is when we find out she's a former martial arts champion in her own right.
Right.
And so there's a brief fight scene where she defends herself and not the guy's defending her in this bar. And like I said, it's literally like they just walk in like thinking she's not going to follow him into the nudie bar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She does anyway. A fight happens and they leave and ditch her.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's just literally like an excuse to be like, yeah, she can fight too. Everyone in this world can.
Right.
Yeah. Like I said, some random dude. Like at some point, she is like officially on the more officially on the
But
force.
I also love that at the end of that fight,
Uh-huh.
the killer is just hanging out in the bar.
Right. Yes, they just randomly went to this bar, guessing to ditch her. No reason to search for the killer, but yes, he's also just happens.
Or
to be
was
there.
he following them?
Maybe. Is this
Well,
where
they were trying to follow him.
Is this
right?
where they get the idea that? Is this where he's like, oh, she's a worthy candidate to fight too because she kicked their ass? I mean, is this where she becomes a target
I guess.
because he saw her fight?
I think she might have been a target anyway,
Sure.
but yeah.
Yeah,
Who
because
knows?
he'd already given them the signs with Kelly.
Yeah. It was like
Had he?
Jim, Gene, and Heroes.
Yeah. Jim, Gene, and their heroes, I think is what the thing said.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a stretch.
There's a lot. This is not a well written cop procedural.
What?
Let's put
No,
it that
not
way.
really. No.
You're here for the fight scenes. That's all we could say. You're not here for the procedural police stuff. You're here for people jump kicking someone through a table, into a wall, through a wall, out a window, and then jumping on them after jumping out the window after them.
Yes.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
But either way, they figure out that Kelly's the next target.
Yeah.
And she's gone home to wash the filth of fighting in a titty bar off of her.
Mm-hmm.
Smart thing to do.
Yeah. And he, of course, it already snuck into her house. Because at some point, it's not established, but it just becomes accepted that this man can teleport wherever he needs to be.
Yeah. He pretty much has evil Jason teleporting powers.
Yeah.
I mean, before he's not just any Jason.
Yeah, because she gets in the
Most
house
Jasons
and
are
he's like,
evil, yeah.
and he's already hidden himself in her closet. It's very wherever he needs to be. That's where he is.
Right. But Gary and Chuck are wise to the fact that he's coming after her, so they go to her apartment and basically kick the door down.
Mm-hmm.
But the killer hasn't attacked yet, so
Yeah.
she's just like, "What the fuck are you doing here? Leave me alone. Stop
Yeah.
it.
Next time, just knock.
Next time, just knock." And then we get a shot of the killer doing like the spread out on the ceiling sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the wedge between two cabinets
Yeah,
way up.
the Jean-Claude, the River Tam. I mean,
Yeah.
lots of people have done this.
Yeah.
Yes. But because they're 14-foot ceilings, they don't notice that he's way, 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 way up there.
Right. And it's pretty comical because he is like,
It's like
yeah,
well, it's also
14
all
feet off the
it's like-
goddamn ground. Yeah.
It's I mean, because they didn't bother like really trying to dress these sets. It's like an all white room. You know, what I mean,
Yeah.
and he's just in full on black ninja outfit
It's
too.
like a rental
Yeah.
apartment. Yeah.
And it's like middle of the day.
Yeah.
It's like noon.
Oh yeah, not
It is
he's
bright
not hiding
out.
other than the fact that he's up in the corner in a place
Yeah.
you might not look normally. But I would think that the color change just out of your periphery would catch your eye. You think?
You'd think.
Yeah.
But
Anyway.
Yeah. But so they're like, she's like, you guys just need to leave. I can take care of myself. I'll give you a call if the bad guy shows up. And they're like, all right. And then they go downstairs and
Bad guy shows up, starts attacking her.
Bad guy shows up, starts attacking her.
Yeah,
Of
Gary
course he
Dana's
does.
like, "Oh no, I left my
I left-
printouts upstairs."
Yeah, I left the case notes
Yeah.
with her. So they go back up and they knock on the door, and she doesn't answer. And then all of a sudden they start hearing her get the shit beat out of her
right.
because they have a fight in the kitchen where she's using like the freezer door and the kitchen door to block the hits from him.
There's a lot of like, what a lot of people associate with Jackie Chan sort of fight methods
Yeah,
Yeah,
in this, in the whole movie, chairs getting kicked around and
yeah.
stuff like
The
that.
improvised fighting, like I mean, Rumble in the Bronx is specifically the refrigerator bit when he's
Yeah.
in the like warehouse with all the stolen shit.
yeah. But so they break the door down, and Chuck is trying to shoot him, but the other two are so interested in being the fuck out of him that he can't get a shot off.
Yep.
So eventually he just puts his gun away and starts kick fighting them too.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like they've got the
But
three
kind
of them.
the same thing happens. It's like Chuck tries to wade into the fight, but Kelly is in the way.
Yeah, he keeps tossing her into the other guys.
Yeah.
Or vice versa, the other guys into her.
Yeah, and then eventually into a coffee table, which finishes her for the rest of the fight.
Oh yeah. She gets flung onto that
I mean,
thing.
into the center glass coffee table that is in every fight movie.
Well, and then there's one scene where he like props himself up in like this wide doorway, so he's got the Van Damme split going.
Mm-hmm. It's what I had as a screenshot until we switched to the thumbs
Yeah,
up.
the one from IMDb, because and then it's just Gary Daniels just flies through the air and just jump kicks him right in the chest, and they do a good yoink from that too.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of good, like, I just kicked you and you flew into the other room.
Yeah. But this ends with the killer self-defenestrating they're on like the third or fourth story at least, and then he defenestrates himself out the window into the convenient truck that is full of empty boxes that is driving by.
Yep.
Yeah, but he does this after going through like multiple, like they
yeah.
go down the stairs, they go out on the fire escape.
Yeah,
they come back
fight
and he
goes for a
busts
while,
through like some old lady getting into her apartment. And he busts past her.
Yeah, they go through a whole like a other floor. Yeah.
I mean, it's a good long sequence. There's a whole thing like where he pushes a vending machine in the way because Chuck finally gets a shot at him, and Chuck unloads his entire magazine into this vending machine, doing nothing. But the vending machine has gotten so much momentum coming at him. Gary Daniels jumps over it, and Chuck takes the full brunt of this thing and just gets blasted through the door.
Yep.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, but he eventually gets away by just jumping out the window onto a moving vehicle.
Yep.
The old garbage truck trick.
Yeah, I mean, this was like the old, like, San Francisco Sun moving truck. I mean, it was like
Yeah.
a flatbed truck with the little sides built up and convenient tarp with empty boxes.
Yep. Yeah. But he's got away. Now she thinks she's part of the detective team, so much so that at one point she asked for a gun.
Yeah, that was
That's why she doesn't.
that was a
get
bit of
one.
a stretch, I think,
Yeah.
there, Kelly.
Kelly overstepping her
I
bounds.
mean, I mean, you have to be an idiot like Joe Pesci to be like, "Can I get a gun?" No.
Well, she is an idiot like Joe Pesci.
Okay, very well. I mean, not Joe Pesci. I'm sorry, Mr. Pesci. I don't think you're probably not an idiot. You're the character you played, Leo
Yes.
Getz.
But at some point, he commits another murder because they don't even bother with any fight with this one. They're just like, yeah, we've got another guy here. He wrote CHA on the floor in his own blood.
Maybe he was going to do the cha-cha slide.
Yeah. Maybe he had a
No?
chart-topping hit. I don't... Yeah. But this leads to them trying to figure out the connection, which every person he's killed has been some kind of tournament-winning martial arts champion.
Yeah.
And they just can't seem to put it together what he's doing.
They got a whole Pepe Silvia wall and everything, and
Yeah.
they just can't
And
put it together.
It's
And
just
eventually
saying,
she's
it's
just
strange.
going-
You'd think they'd be champing at the bit to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
Stop.
She goes through the phone book trying to look up CHA names because they just get there like, well, this has got to mean something. And eventually she just starts looking through like the thesaurus or the dictionaries, and she's like, chartreuse. She's like just naming all these CHA words, and then champion. And that's when Gary Daniels
It's
goes,
like, wait a minute.
That's it.
Champ.
the champion. And that's how they figure out that he's going after other champions. And
Yeah.
from here is this the point where they actually find...
I'm sorry. All that's going through my head is that good luck with your GED, Oppenheimer. Just like fucking, like, how do you not fucking see this? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus
have
Christ.
poisoned you
I
as
know.
well.
I just like, holy shit. It's
Yeah.
like 2 murders, and you're like, what's in common with these people? I mean, that's the
Yeah.
first fucking thing you do as a detective. Like, the commonality.
Right.
Yeah, and
Even-
you've got like 4 bodies.
Like,
at
no,
this
there's like
point.
6 people at this point. Like,
Well, even Gary Daniels at the beginning is like, serial killers all have a not a motive, but they all have a profile.
a modus operandi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
When he
supposed to
says
be
a
a mind
profile.
hunter type, and it's like
Right.
he just can't put it together.
Yeah.
What do these guys all have in common?
fucking idiots.
I guess we'll never know. But yeah, but then Chuck's like, "Oh, I've got old karate magazines. Let's find a tournament because Gary Daniels, the link.
Yeah,
not only the link is that they're all champions, but the link is that wait, but they're all champions in different martial arts.
The murdered guy that we didn't see get murdered, that was writing out Cha in blood, had a missing picture on the wall. And that's what Kelly discovered. He's like, look, there's a musty. There's supposed to be a picture, and they're like, wait, he's a champion. She's a champion. He's a champion too. Yeah, my old karate magazines. Let's go look and see if we can find that picture that was missing. And they do.
From the Tournament of Champions.
Yes.
Or whatever the hell.
Super fights.
I forget what they called it, but it was something that was like a...
Tournament of Masters, I think it was, because it was supposed to be like the Masters of each field.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the one guy that had been disqualified, they're all dead except for two guys.
Right.
One guy who got disqualified and died in a car wreck 3 years ago. And then the other guy who has a rap sheet as long as their arm and is just...
The one who looks like Dustin Hoffman in the photo, but not at all in actuality.
Yeah, he actually looks similar to our killer.
Yeah, I mean, because they cut away to... He's got the same kind of hair. They cut away to him doing cocaine. I'm like, this is a weird time for you to stop and just randomly snort coke, killer guy. And then he comes up. I'm like, oh, that's not him.
Yeah, it's like sometimes you just need a bump, man.
I guess. But anyway, yeah, they process of elimination. They think the killer guy is the guy who apparently faked his own death or whatever, and so they've eliminated him and go after this other guy who also has a rap sheet. You know, the whole bring in the SWAT teams and all the exits. The guy puts up a brief fight, gets kicked off a one-story balcony into an awning, and they get him.
Yeah,
and
the two of them are like, man, that was way too easy.
Yeah,
like there's something wrong here. That was way too easy. That guy was not
simultaneous
good at
to this. Kelly was just hanging out at the police precinct, and
because they told her she couldn't come.
She couldn't come. Yeah,
because she's not a fucking detective.
Well, I mean,
she went to get herself a hot dog or something.
Yeah.
This was, to be fair, this was right after she asked if she could have a gun. It's probably a good time to be like, you were never on the force, but now you're definitely off. But yeah, she's just standing there, spots the killer guy, has her flashback of like, oh wait, that's him. Even with the Zorro mask, I know him anywhere. They're going to the wrong place.
Well, she also saw the picture on the wall. Yeah. So
they're going to the wrong place. I'm going to follow him because it's 1997. Cell phones aren't convenient.
Right.
We can't just call Gary Daniels. All he has is a pager.
It must have been so much easier to write suspense back before cell phones.
Honestly,
because
I'm
now
surprised the X-Files exists when it does, because it was right on the cusp. I mean, if the X-Files come out 2 years later, it would have failed.
I think they also made generous use of we have no signal.
Yeah, they're always in places with no signal.
Yeah.
So because now it's like the only thing you do. Oh, they're jamming our phones.
Yeah. Right.
You know, it just here it's just like she can't call him because she had to follow that guy immediately, and she doesn't have a phone.
She is just gonna. And that guy he is pleased as punch with his performance.
Oh my god,
that was a lot of some of those. What's
plosives?
Plosives. Thank you. That's the word.
Perpetual plosives.
Perpetual plosives, yes. Because he's just riding down the road in his Jeep Wrangler or whatever, or actually he's got a Grand Cherokee.
He does.
The good guy has a Wrangler, yeah. But he is just laughing his damn fool head off going down the road, just and she's following along in her shitty 90s Mustang, I think it is.
Oh, 96 Mustang, yeah.
Yeah, that model of Mustang sucked.
They suck now too, but I mean
that was the
that one really sucked.
Yeah, they really
and that was the one that pissed everybody off because it changed so much.
Yeah.
That
model sucked though.
Anyway, she's following him. He just lives in.
It's probably the 4-cylinder.
He probably just lives in some fucking suburbia like place.
It's a normal place. That is actually like a mansion on the inside, but
kind of a little bit. But I mean, these are just the things that amuse me. Is like, I want a movie about this. I want to see the crazy wrestling villain go home and just lead a normal life. Like that is what I think is like I said, this guy quoting Van Morrison and just going home to like a 1-car garage and pilsners in the fridge and whatever. And it's funny to me. I don't know.
Just kicking back, watching some Judge Judy.
Yeah, 90 Day Fiance or whatever.
Yeah,
got some reruns of Night Court.
Yeah. He's really big into Marky Post.
Yeah, who isn't? She's cute.
But yeah. So, but yes.
Well, the thing is, he goes in the house, and she parks out front and like is sneaking around, and he comes out like 30 seconds later.
Yeah. And she had rolled like behind his Jeep until he's like, "I'm getting in the Jeep and leaving." So she like rolls around the corner for a second, and as the garage door is going down because they don't have the crush sensors, the laser sensors that they do now, she was able to Indiana Jones roll her way under the garage.
Yep.
And get in his house.
I miss doing that.
Yeah,
I loved doing that when I was little.
It was the best. Like, just beat the garage door down. But yeah, she gets in the house and is like, clearly this is the guy. Like, she didn't know that already, but finds the computer and all the murder board and everything, and then he's just back. He's just like, oh, hello, Kelly. It's like he just appears behind her.
Long enough for her to page
right
Gary Daniels and say, I found the real killer.
Apparently it was
here's his address.
He popped down to the corner store for a Reader's Digest and a pack of smokes.
So this was weird because, like, was this a thing? Like, how did this work? I'm sorry, I need to probably fully ask the question before I wonder so much. But the pager,
some pagers you could do
text.
Yeah,
but I thought that had to be the two-way kind that also had the, like, how would you get the text to the pager?
I don't remember.
Okay, that's what I'm. Did they have a transcription?
There may have
service?
been a transcription service. Yeah.
Okay.
Where you could like call and someone would type the.
Yeah, because he gets
page.
I mean, it's an old classic, like, not a two-way, communicator
Right.
page, or it's just a pager, but it says, like, I found real killer Kelly, and here's the address, and they're like, oh shit, and stunt their Jeep around and go save her or try to. Apparently she gets beat to death in this because, like, when they get there, he has Jason Voorhees her into a closet because they're just walking by and she conveniently falls out dead. Maybe
he seems to check her pulse and get pissed.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's dead.
But that's when the attention has been gained of the computer starts chirping at him, and it's. By the way, he's made up with his family at some point
because she suggested maybe you should call your estranged wife.
Call your wife instead of just like
ignoring it.
Chuck tricked him with a magic trick,
and then he does, and they're immediately at the amusement park. Like,
he tried to
get him. He tried to get his family punished, and then that didn't work out. So I guess he had to get it something else because he took him to the fucking amusement park while a serial killer is looking for him.
And the thing is, like, when they busted up the drug ring, and then the computer was outside in the closet. He shows them their files. Mm-hmm. Like, he's like, I know exactly who you are, Chuck. I know exactly who you are, Gary Daniels. This makes Gary Daniels proceed to tell his wife, hey, why don't you move back into my house this weekend?
Yeah. Right. Not call Witsec. I mean, like, that's where you should probably go.
Yeah. Not, hey, why don't we wait till this whole serial killer thing has been resolved? Then you come back. No, he wants her to come back that weekend. So, of course, serial killer has another little message on the screen that says, who will take care of your family when you're gone? And it is the picture. It has a picture of Gary Daniels with his wife and daughter. And then he has photoshopped his face onto Gary Daniels' face. And I think he dyed the daughter's hair black.
I didn't
or
notice
something.
that part.
I swear to God, it looked like her hair was darker.
That I didn't catch. I just
in the altered
I noticed
one.
that he was. If it was a true Photoshop, like of just his face. Otherwise, if it was like they actually took the photo twice, I don't. Again, the time of the movie and its budget and everything else, they probably just took the photo twice, but they put him in the same shirt. I mean, he's wearing.
No, trust me, I had Photoshop back then. They could have done it.
Okay.
Yeah.
In '96, yeah, easily.
Oh yeah.
I'm just saying, for the purpose of this movie,
I could have done that shit in Corel.
For the purpose of this movie, they probably just shot the picture.
I know it probably is in terms of budget. Yes, probably easier. But either way, and then he's like, "Oh, my family," and so he calls there, and she's like, "Oh, hey, your friend's here. He's helping us move." And he's like, "I need you to not act suspicious."
So what does she do? Immediately like, oh God.
She's like, oh God, I'm scared, Gary.
Gary, I can't keep it straight.
He's like, I need you to just stall him till I get there. Just act normal. And she's like, oh God. Oh Jesus.
Oh Jesus. God, no.
I don't know if I can, Gary. And then so the killer's like, oh, is that Gary on the phone? Let me talk to him.
I have your family. Oh wait, he's not Australian.
Yeah, and then he's like, all right, I've got her by the neck. You meet me here, just you, nobody else, or they die. The usual. You know how this hostage serial killer thing goes. And then Chuck's like, I'll help you. And he's like, absolutely not. You are not helping me. I will kill you before you do that. But it also, like, he picks up the computer and is about to throw it. And Chuck goes, don't do that. It's evidence. And Gary Daniels just goes, there won't be a trial.
And
chucks it.
That.
And smashes the computer. I'm like, that's a good line. Mm-hmm. I love whenever any cop does that, where it's just like, ain't going to be a trial. Don't
I
worry
mean,
about
Call me an
evidence.
ambulance. I'll call you a hearse.
Yeah, you take you to the bank, the blood bank.
I'm not into extrajudicial violence, thanks, F. Lee Bailey. But Gary Daniels really isn't a cop in this.
Yeah, that's
so,
true.
you know.
I mean, the thing
Murder
is,
away.
The thing is
Also,
like,
this guy's a real, actual, factual bad
movie
guy.
fantasy is that the world is black and white, and I don't mean that in a stupid racial sense. I mean in right and wrong, and like
Yeah.
all this stuff. I mean in that like you clearly have a bad guy and a guy who's fighting the system or whatever, and is like, he's right, you're on his side. It's not like you're just like you want cops to shoot people that stole a Snickers from the local convenience store or whatever.
Yeah.
So
I mean, and yes, shit like this is part of the fantasy that we have, that the cops have figured it out and they're always doing the right thing, and they've got it right. But either way, there's something I love about him chucking that monitor and just going, "There won't be a trail."
Betrayal.
and then Detective Chuck puts up like half a second, like, "You're taking me with you, and then eventually pulls his gun, and you're like, oh, he's gonna protest this much, and then does the turnaround and tosses it to Gary Daniels, who's declared he's like Batman doesn't use firearms for some reason. They like not explained, except at this moment he's like, well, yeah, clearly I need a gun for what I'm going to.
Yep.
And accepts it and goes off.
So of course they go out to a
foundry.
Foundry.
Yeah, got to be a foundry.
Yeah, and when he gets there, it's of course the killer's like, "Ha ha ha, Gary Daniels, you wouldn't shoot me. I'm the only one who knows where your wife and child are." And he's like,
even though they're probably in earshot and should probably be going, "We're here."
"Yeah, it's us."
Yeah.
But no, and eventually he just loses it because the guy won't stop laughing, and he's clearly been to cop training because he misses all 20 shots he takes at this guy. He's got him
Or
lined
maybe
up.
it was just a miracle. Maybe God got in the way and was like, "We can't kill this guy right now."
So he got Samuel L. Jackson.
Maybe he knew that like his family was going to die if he didn't get the information. But even though no, God wouldn't. God was be wiser because God would have seen the final pages of the script and realized that his family wasn't in danger at all. But yeah, so omniscience and all.
Yeah.
Anywho, back to the movie.
But yeah, he misses and then has to chase him down, and this just leads to like a 10-minute fight sequence.
Yeah, through railings, and mostly like this guy will kick him a couple times and be like, "I'm out of here, run over here."
And I mean, yes, I say a 10-minute fight sequence, but it's not like Drunken Master 2 type stuff. I mean, it's broken up a lot, but there are some really good like back and forth everything.
Yeah, I mean,
for quite a few
he
sequences.
mostly pretty much like 98% whips Gary Daniels' ass. I mean, like he's not really winning this at any point in time.
Not really. He's more surviving.
Yeah, until eventually gets kicked into like a cargo net. Like they end up going inside some weird place, and he gets kicked into a cargo net that's hanging precariously over a thing and starts falling. And that's when Chuck has magically shown up and like catches the rope like before he crushes his head.
So that it doesn't go all the way through the pulley.
And then there's like a prolonged thing where he ends up like having to tie the rope around himself while he's fighting the killer guy, and then the killer guy ends up like finger banging his I don't know, his heart or his chest or somewhere.
It's in the gut.
Yeah.
Both he and Geary get it in the gut.
Yeah, but somehow they end up like he gets kicked off and they end up like reversing situations so that Gary Daniels gets springboarded up from where he was, and this guy basically gets Gwen Stacy'd down. Yeah. I mean, he basically he gets broken in half. This man had a family.
Well,
but I mean,
except he comes back.
He does come back. I'm just saying, like what we see is that this rope is tied. We've established this that like a rope tied around your waist with terminal velocity is going to, at best, break your back. Probably more, snap you in half into two pieces.
Yeah,
but bad time will be had.
Yeah. Sever the connection, as we say.
So, but yeah, see, that happens.
Yeah, and also, the bad guy has started a timer on a stick of dynamite.
Stick of dynamite.
A bundle of dynamite that is tied to the post that the wife and daughter are tied to outside.
Yep.
Right above their heads.
Yep, he is full on
15-minute
Dick
timer.
Dastardly this up here.
Yeah,
so.
the dynamite does look like comedy fake dynamite.
Mm-hmm. It does. But and then
he's actually Dick Dastardly and Muttley because he does his own laughing. He like,
yeah. But he definitely does the whole, like, we'll live or die. It's up to you now, Gary Daniels. And, so Chuck gets dropped to the ground, basically. Back probably broken. Geary is still fighting him. they get outside and keep fighting. I mean, it's eventually they both get chucked through a window, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, he eventually knows where his wife and kid are. They're literally like 30 feet away up on top of this platform with the comic dynamite, and there's some point where they're fighting and they make eye contact and they're like, "Come get us!" And
Yeah.
the timer started and all that. So
Yeah, but they get dropped out of the building down to the ground floor, and conveniently hit like an awning and then fall into a dumpster and all that. And finally, somebody fighting the guy with steel-tip boots realizes, hey, there's a giant metal pipe here. I can start fighting him with this. And so Gary Daniels just keeps hitting him in the shins.
Yeah.
And it looks like it hurts so fucking much.
And
this guy's selling it as well, where it's like he's blocking him, but he's like, ah!
But he's also hitting him in other places with this giant metal pipe. And we're like, giant metal pipe, my one weakness.
Yeah.
Gary Daniels, keep knocking the shit out of this dude with this giant metal pipe because that's hurting him. And Gary Daniels, because it's a movie and he has to be an idiot, knocks him down and then is like, okay, well, time to go get my family.
Yeah.
Instead of finishing the job.
Yeah, I mean, I understand time is of the essence, but if you've got that guy on the ground, you know that he's murdered multiple people. Incredibly dangerous. Pipe to head a few times.
20 seconds of beating with a pipe to the head will save you 2 minutes of fighting later when he comes back from bed.
Right.
Yeah.
But
That
no,
rhymed.
Gary Daniels starts climbing up. There's like electrical cords or something hanging down, so he's climbing up those. And so, of course, Killer wakes up and just starts rocking him around, just grabbing him at the bottom, and Gary Daniels is like, oh no,
also,
I can't.
It should be established, like, so Gary Daniels is like, he's tried to like shimmy his way back up these ropes and everything back to where his family is. I know there's a lot of wire work in this movie, but the way they make this guy, the killer guy, scale the fucking rope, I mean, it's like a monkey going up a tree. That guy just fucking flies up that rope. Yeah. It's cool. Like it's as you mentioned, there's a scene, I think it's Gary Daniels does it. It's probably in the middle of all of this crazy fight through the foundry and everything.
Where he jumps over the table?
Yeah, he's kicking like a construction table around, and Gary Daniels does almost like that Reebok commercial, like straight up jump over the car while it goes under you thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like he just kind of
he jumps a little too high.
Like a little too high and like hovers for like a nanosecond in midair.
Just a little bit too long.
Like slight
and it looks smooth.
Princess Peach, Super Mario 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It still looks cool as shit.
It still looks awesome,
though.
yeah. But yeah, I like that. Like there's that, and then that sort of like unnatural sort of spider crawl he does up the side of the building are unnatural, but also kind of cool because you're like, I will buy it in this world where a guy wears a Zorro mask and can teleport around and do whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But he ends up, they end up fighting like 10 feet away from the family, and he ends up getting finger banged in the stomach again. They sort of fall off the side of this. I think the one guy just kind of falls to his death.
Well, it's here's where they botched the movie. Like this is the only part where I'm like, damn it, man, because Geary gets fired up because he's like about to see his family die, and he's like this fucking guy.
Mm-hmm.
And truly, I'm at that point too. I'm like, man, I'm just so ready for this guy to die. I'm so sick of him. And they do the whole like step ramp frame skipping thing, and they're kind of like fighting towards the end of the platform, and then it's just kind of like you don't even really see them take each other over the edge.
Yeah, I feel like he just does like one final like flying kick, and the guy just sort of grabs him and it's like, you're coming with me.
I couldn't even tell
but
that
it
that's
happens
what was
so
happening.
fast that it's like I
like-
don't know exactly.
That was not well filmed for some reason.
Yeah, it's like watching The Predator, where it's like, wait, did that guy just die? Did that
Very important character just
did
died?
did that just happen?
Yeah.
I don't.
I
wait.
blinked.
Yeah, and it's kind of like that because all of a sudden you see somebody flying over the edge of the building, and then the next shot is Gary Daniels like hands hanging on the edge, climbing up, and it's a bummer.
Yeah.
Because
And
it's
then
also like, no, this guy needed to die worse.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but
And also-
after what this guy's done thus far,
They stretched the like Gary Daniels getting himself back up onto the ledge to his family. Like, I get you're hurt, my man, but like, get some mom's babies under the bus
Yeah.
strength right now, and
yeah, you
like,
need that adrenaline
yeah.
rush, buddy. Yeah. But so he gets up, and of course the timer has been really fucked up because it started at 15 minutes, and all of a sudden, like 3 minutes later, it's down to like 2 minutes. But then they fight for like 5 minutes, and then when he climbs up, it's like at 15 seconds.
Yep.
And then there's a lot of slow mo and a lot of freeze frame of the wife going, "There's not enough time, just run," and him going, "No," and like there's actual freeze frames once it gets down to 1 second. Where there's like a freeze frame on her face screaming, freeze frame on the kid's face screaming, a freeze frame on him literally jumping through the air.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like a fucking French New Wave film for a
Yeah.
second.
I was going to say, the
bizarre.
editor really thought he was doing something with this scene and a couple others earlier in the movie, but...
And I mean, it is like to me, it's a decent fake out because it's just like, wow, they're actually going to end this like the Fred Williamson nihilist ending where it's just like, nope, everyone lost. Deal with it.
Yeah, but I guess they realized they had the Riddler in the movie so they could just have a Joker bomb at the end because it's just fucking confetti-fied.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
His comical dynamite is full of confetti because the bomb goes
lots of
off.
confetti because it goes everywhere.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
also apparently you're recording somehow. I don't know.
Yeah,
how
There's
that
a
works.
little...
little device there.
Yeah, a little microfilm, the
Okay.
little micro
Microcassette.
cassette. That's what it is. And it's
Oh, a dictaphone.
yeah,
That's
and,
what he would be using.
yeah. And he just says, what does he say? He's like, I will not. I'm not a
Oh, it's in the intro.
child
Yeah.
killer.
I am
And then
not.
he- and then he
Haha,
goes-
I am not a child killer.
And he
Haha,
says-
the blood of the innocents will be spared.
Sure,
I think.
yeah.
Yeah, but he laughs in between saying those things.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, and then we also see Chuck just poke his head out the side of the building, be like, "Hey, you're still alive."
I'm not dead somehow.
Kelly's probably dead.
Yeah,
But
and then Gary gives him the thumbs up
through the confetti.
through the confetti. That you will see that screenshot if you look at the live stream.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then they just freeze frame it on them hugging and roll some credits. And you're right, it is open matte because the credits were open matte. They were only in the center of the screen. They
There
weren't
you
on
go.
the top and bottom.
Open Matt always fucks shit up. Don't do that, people. Well, I mean, we don't have to worry about it anymore, but
Yeah.
go back in time and
Go
don't
back
do
into
that.
the 90s. Somebody
Don't
you see
do
s-
that.
Somebody filming Super 35. Like, you stop that.
Yeah. What are you doing?
Yeah. Get out of here.
When they ask you if this is going on VHS, you can ban pan and scan at best. I mean, at worst, you need to pan and scan, but then letterbox it.
Yes, that's why Super 35 existed, because they didn't want to.
Yeah, they
deal with
want-
pan and scan.
They,
They could
just
just
want to
open
open
it,
it up, yeah. And it's dumb. It doesn't work.
Nope, doesn't. That's film tech talk.
Yeah.
I mean, pan and scan is bad. Believe me, I'm not ever, but it's still better than open matting because
Yeah.
I don't know.
Agreed.
Actually, I don't know. They're both bad.
They both
just
suck.
yeah, letterbox it.
Yep.
I don't want to waste any of my television.
Soundtrack. I mentioned while we're watching this, like, the film was made in 1997, but the soundtrack is lodged very firmly in 1990/1991.
Yeah, there is a straight up PM Dawn ripoff song. It's what is that name of that fucking song?
Set it drift on every bus.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's also another song too, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying there is a song that is
It's-
like basically
yeah,
that, but the
true.
MIDI version of it, slightly offered.
Yeah, it's just it's one of those weird ones where it's like, no, this soundtrack was dated even when this came out. It wasn't right then. So
But it sounds like a movie that should have Gary Daniels in it.
it does. There's a very, I mean, this is not a PM Entertainment, but it's a very PM Entertainment type thing.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah.
PM Dawn Entertainment.
Yeah.
So I stated at the beginning that this is the perfect Gary Daniels vehicle because Gary Daniels only has to ride in this vehicle. He does not have to drive it.
Mm-hmm.
And I stand by that at the end of this. I'm going to give it 4 jocks. It's pretty fucking good. The worst thing, and what keeps it from, I think, a 5 jocks, is eventually Chuck loses his commitment to the bit of being a magician.
He does.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, does not lose the commitment to being Eddie Murphy.
Correct.
Yeah.
But he loses his commitment to the bit for magic, and we get an unsatisfying death for our antagonist. And in a movie like this where he's such a shithead, that is a
very important.
That is a jock's deduction worthy crime.
Yeah, you put a little asterisk like Joe DiMaggio or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying like you put a little asterisk there and you'd be like, see Showdown in Little Tokyo.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
like this is like if you're going to make someone evil, you need to pay off the death.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, say what you will about Seagal, but a lot of his movies, they're like, this is how you kill off the last guy. Like, we're chucking him off a building. He's getting impaled on multiple things on the way down.
Yep.
This guy's getting fucked up.
Yeah. Or, I mean, Kick-Ass does it. Like, not only you throw him out the window, but then rocket launcher him, too. I'm just saying, sorry, spoilers for some of these movies that are now 10 plus years old, but, you know, I'm just saying, like, give a good death. Like, you know, gravity is not a good enough death. Unless it's gravity into something really sharp.
I mean,
or splatty or hot.
You can use gravity as part of it, but we got to get a hero shot of the dude being kicked off.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know, and then landing on something.
Get off my plane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was having a weird thought about Air Force One. Sorry, this is so off topic, but I was thinking about movies of the era where it's like, because the original Avatar just showed up on Disney Plus. Maybe it's been in 4K for a while. I thought that was one of those movies that wasn't going to happen because of the era of special effects, but I guess they did the special effects good enough to be on IMAX film. It's probably good enough to be on 4K. But
yeah,
I was thinking about Air Force One having been like probably within the first 200 movies put on 4K. Yeah, I mean it was early, and it's just like you would think the filmmakers would be like, we're good living in DVD, like for that in shot alone. Just be like, we'll stay on that format. That's as good as this movie needs to be seen ever.
Yeah.
But anyway, because that last shot.
Well, it's like we've talked about that with Chuck with so many of the movies that he finds where it's just like, this didn't need to leave the VHS era.
No, it didn't. Yeah, some of them don't.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just thinking about some movies, especially like that, like Scorpion King or Mummy 2 or whatever. Yeah, like these things, it's like DVD's good enough for what they put into those, like
you can release it on Blu-ray in DVD quality.
Yeah,
thank you very
like
much.
Those pre-vis animatics that they did and made them end up in the final film.
Yep.
Anywho, this movie. Oh, did you give it a rating, or do you want me to go first?
You go ahead.
Yeah, Fort Jock sounds right. I also have like very small nitpicks, but man, this movie is so close to being like 110% my jam. I'm just saying, like, it's so close, but like, I will generally never forgive a movie, and I don't think of it as like sexist or even like looking at it as one way or another. Do not introduce a character that is sympathetic and then fucking kill them. Like, I mean, like Kelly has been through enough. Why does she get fridged? I don't understand.
Yeah.
That makes no fucking sense. Like, I do not get it, and it doesn't even really seem to bring any motivation to the movie.
I was gonna say they don't need any more motivation.
No, there's no more motivation.
They're plenty motivated by then.
Yeah, I mean, because it's just sort of like, oh, is she dead? But now the motivation is now like, he took my family. Fuck her. Like, not important anymore. So I'm just saying, like, to introduce a character that is so superfluous and then to have such a downtrodden finale is always a peeve of mine, a huge peeve. And then, of course, the villain death not being satisfying enough. But man, literally everything else, I want all these people that are like trying to make low budget movies on purpose. Like, please make them more in the vein of wrestling promos. I mean, like, just have some fucking fun with it. Like, that's all I'm asking. I wish more movies would just have the balls to be like just above reality. Like, just live in that hyper realistic.
Yeah,
not hyper. That's actually an alternate. Hyper realistic would be the opposite. This would be like hyper unrealistic, just slightly like edged out, where it's like maybe
super realistic.
Maybe there are Batmans running around in this universe. Like, maybe that actually exists. Like, there are some crazy people who are just like, you know what, I'm a vigilante today, and I'm put on the Zorro mask and fight people. But you know, whatever. Just saying, I like worlds like this. That are stupid.
Well, I think like sometimes you want a villain there where it's just like you don't want to go, man, he's kind of got a point. He's approaching it the wrong way. But it's like, no, sometimes you just want a guy who's like, nah, I fucking kill people and I'm a dickhead about it.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's like sometimes you want that where you're just like, yeah, I want to see this guy get his ass kicked.
Yeah. I have no problem. We were kind of having a slight conversation about this earlier, but like, I have no problem with like making a movie where your villain is sympathetic in some way, as long as you bother to make it so. Like, you know, like, but at the end of the day, your villain still needs to be your villain. Like, the villain still needs to be dealt with. You know, I don't know. I'm like, I don't think I'm like too liberal enough to think like, you know, like the fucking Joker can be cured. Like, you know, I mean, I'm like, you know, like, oh, I don't know, maybe enough trips into Arkham, he'll finally come around and stop murdering people. You know, it's like, no, Joker, come on, Batman, he just fucking needs to die, and you need to figure this out. Like, some people can't be saved.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, there was a point midway through the movie where I texted Chuck and I was like, dude, you watched Bloodmoon yet? And he's like, yes. And I was like, So this better stick the landing because it's an easy 5 jocks if it does.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it did not stick the landing.
No.
They botched the most crucial 30 seconds of the movie, and I can't understand it.
That fight sequence took 10 days, and they didn't have a good payoff shot.
Yeah, and they fucked up the last part of it.
How?
Yeah,
How?
and so it's 4 jocks for me. I want to give this 5 so bad because I love everything else about it. Like just the first 2 scenes of the villain alone and his dialogue in both of them is just like, I was like, dude, fucking sold. 5 jocks.
Yep.
Hand it over.
And then Frank Gorshin shows up and everything.
Yeah,
is,
and loses his shit.
I'd,
it's like,
I'd say
yes.
everything is at 12. It's beyond 11. Like everything
It's
he's
so
delivering.
good.
Yeah.
And they just fucked that part up. And
Oh, the scene where he shows up with the cigar, just like just walks into the scene like through a cloud of smoke of his own cigar smoke, and
Yeah.
it's like the fucking the green light of the drag race, where it's just like, oh, you sons of bitches.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I love everything in this movie except how that fight ends, and it fucks up a crucial part of what you want out of the movie. So yeah, I have to go with 4. God, I want it to be 5 though. It did make me want to watch Super Fights again.
Yeah,
I need to pull up the Plex and be like, where is Super Fights?
I want to see Dragon Fights again too. Or Dragon Fight, or is it just Dragon Fight one?
Dragon Fight.
Dragon
Yeah,
fight.
single-
One
singular
dragon, one
fight.
fight.
Yeah,
It's no Super Fights.
it's no Super Fights, but I believe it did have Robert Zadar and chainmail, right?
It did.
Yeah, so
That is the redeeming quality of it for sure.
I seem to remember really like it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's not the best we've seen, but it's pretty good. Now, Super Fights, that's up there. That's one I don't know why we keep forgetting about it. When people are like, man, what are the best bad movies you guys have watched? And like we name all these things, and then we're like, we always forget about Super Fights for
Super
some
Fights,
reason.
3 the Hard Way, BKO,
3 the hard way.
Bangkok Knockout was pretty fun.
Dude,
Awesome.
King of the Kickboxers
King of the
is
Kickboxers
really
is way up
fucking
there.
good too. It's so
Ray,
good.
Ray, I mean,
in the same
Rage-
vein as
Rage
this,
is pretty
where
good too.
yeah,
And,
but like,
the other one with the hologram man. Oh, hologram man.
oh yeah,
Fucking love that. Might be one of my favorite movies.
Slash
Let me try to watch
Gallagher. Yeah. But I'm just like, these are the over the top acting ones where like that's the secret sauce that's showing up in them. Is it like this and King of the Kickboxers in particular are ones where it's just like, if there's like a bad movie, best acting, worst acting Oscar, like you hand it over to these guys.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. That's what this one pulls off. And that's why Gary Daniels works in it, because he's not doing that.
I call it the Julia, as in Raul Julia.
Yeah.
That's what I would like to call it.
Just
where it's
sell
just fucking sell it. You know what you're doing is shit, and sell it.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Well-
but I think that's why you like Gary Daniels in this, because he's not doing that shit. Everyone else is.
Look, old GD has no riz, as the kids say.
Oh god.
So, and he doesn't have to in this.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What did goddamn not? What do? Huh?
Old
Riz.
GD, Gary Daniels,
Uh-huh.
has no riz,
Riz.
which is charisma.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yes. We've taken one of the most fun words to say and shortened it
Oh,
to
that's what he was
fucking
writing on the
Riz.
floor.
Riz.
CHA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was writing. He should
His
have
dump
just
stat.
written.
Yeah.
He stopped at the Riz.
All he had to do was put R-I-Z. And
Yeah.
he's like,
Exactly.
oh, shit.
And that's why that's the gift the kids have given us is
Yeah.
now if we die to rizzed out mofos.
yeah. Riz him up before you go,
Yeah,
apparently.
exactly.
I hate myself for even saying that phrase just now.
Anyway, GD has no riz. But Chuck has riz. He's dripping with
Yeah.
riz. So he takes care of that so that Gary Daniels can just Gary Daniel.
Yeah. So he can just kick dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why it's the perfect GD vehicle.
Yeah.
We should have just been saying GD the whole time.
Goddamn right.
Yeah.
Now, I'm now picturing a Street Fighter movie with Gary Daniels as Ken. I mean, only because not because just because his name was Ken in this movie, but like Ken is fucking lame, and like
Yeah.
if you cast like a really likable Ryu, that would have been a really good movie. Like Simo Liu or something like that. Somebody who's just like got like really good shit going on. Yeah,
That'd be good.
yeah,
That'd be good.
yeah. I'm just saying like a pairing like that would be like that'd be a good movie.
You think GD could still pull it off?
Oh, I don't
No.
know.
Did
He's,
he
he's
die?
pretty old.
Nah, he's
He's alive. He's aging.
Is he like 50 now?
He's
No,
not
he's
Ken
way older
age.
than
I'm just saying he's not like he's not making Street Fighter movies age anymore.
Why
I
not?
mean, he was old in that first Expendables.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
that was a long time ago now. Too long ago.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah.
I mean, I would like to see Simu Liu in a Street Fighter movie.
Well, I mean that would be a bit of a problem with time and now and then ages of people, but yeah.
Yeah.
Hey man, that's what AI is for, right?
No, it isn't.
We can just make fake AI actors to do all of it.
Maybe you can make an AI rizzed up GD. I'm just going to keep calling him GD.
Well,
I don't like it.
how can people
Me either.
get in touch with our goddamn selves?
Yeah, you want to rizz us up with an email.
Yeah.
That would be bmf at bmfcast.com. If you just want to go to the website, you can just check out bmfcast.com. It's pretty easy.
That has a
pretty
link
easy.
to whatever socials we still use.
It does.
I think
if we
Blue
still use
Sky
them.
is the only one for any of us.
I still occasionally, I
and the
don't,
Discord is what matters.
right. I don't think any of us personally use social media anymore. I use the Facebooks for, like keeping up with friends.
Yep.
Occasionally one of you finds me on there. But
Yeah.
that's fine. I'll either confirm or deny your friendship if we're actually
Yeah.
friends. Anyway, Discord, that's really where it's at.
Yeah,
Check that out.
for sure.
Also, you can check out the Patreon if you want to slang a little money our way as thanks for having done this for 13 years or whatever it is now.
Yep. Unlock those archives.
Yeah, there's lots of good shit in those archives, so
Yep.
check it out. Patreon.com/BMFcast. You can give us a little money if you want.
Yeah.
We don't mind.
We like money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if you want to call us and just want to, talk about some stuff, not really with us, but more at us, speak to our receptionist, Garfield, on the Garfield phone, 910-5-JOCKS-BMF or 910-556-9263.
Yes. James will be happy to take your call.
Yes,
Sounds great.
it does.
Well, let's get out of here, shall we?
Okie dokie.
I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ, and this is BMFcast out. Gary Daniels it.
Oh man, wait till I start my hot Taft jokes. Tippy Canoe and Tyler too.
Wait, which one was Tippy Canoe?
Fuck.
Chester A. Arthur,
No.
Ulysses S. Grant,
Oh my god.
James K. Polk.
Oh my god, my brain is fucking broken. Buchanan? James Buchanan?
Polk?
I think it's Buchanan.
Polk Tyler? 1887? Something like that? I'm just guessing dates. I have no actual fucking idea. I just like to occasionally confidently throw out a number I know is wrong.
William Henry Harrison.
Oh, yeah, old WHH.
Isn't he the one that was like only president for like 30 days? Isn't he the one that died like
He
from
got
the flu?
Did he get shot during, like he had...
No, I think. Well,
Oh,
there's
no,
one
he
that
gave-
had the flu that like gave the speech. Like,
gave a speech in the rain
Yeah.
and caught pneumonia.
I think that
and
was him,
died.
wasn't it?
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I got a new Jaguars hat, Mackie. Your hat reminded me of it.
Oh,
It's
yeah?
a terrible picture.
I
of
need
me,
to get a new Jags.
but
hat.
it's a new Jaguars hat.
You know, I almost got that one.
It is sharp as fuck.
Yeah,
We
I
could be
really like that hat.
May I?
we could be twins.
I almost got it. My neighbor got it, and then I was like, "Well, fuck, I can't get it." I did get the shoes though, like the Jag sneaks.
Is that new era hat or did they? Have
It's a new era.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
That's just they've changed their style some.
It's a different.
Is it not a 39 something? Or?
No, it's called a 920. I think
Oh, okay.
it's perfect.
Is this? Oh, it's a snapback kind.
No, it's a
Oh, all new
it's a
thing.
buckleback.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Snapback. Yeah. Oh, buckleback. Okay. Yeah.
It's not. It's not. It's not
yeah,
snaps.
Okay.
it's
Okay.
it's
yeah.
a buckle.
Gotcha.
I like the cloth. Oh, I like those.
I got these.
I seen them
They're so fucking nice.
and I wanted them. Are those the like $150 ones?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, 140, but then
Yeah,
you got free
$140 hat or shoes.
shipping. Shoes.
Oh no, shoes.
Okay.
I like them.
Yeah, I like those.
I mean, they look like actual like football shoes today without the cleats.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. But they're comfortable as shit.
Oh, okay. I mean,
they're
yeah.
they're the what I think it's the Pegasus 40.
I think that's what threw me. I was like, are those just actual Jaguar shoes? I'm just like missing the
Well,
cleats.
no, I mean they got the logo on them and
Yeah.
everything, but
Yeah.
they're Pegasus 40s, and man, they're so fucking comfortable.
Is that Adidas? Who is that?
Nike.
Nike? Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, all right. I guess that makes sense.
I hate to tell you this, but unless you're an 8.5 or a 7 or a 14, you're not getting a pair.
I am somewhere in between those, unfortunately.
So
Fuck.
I'm
that on
almost
Nike?
directly in between.
This
Those.
is on Jaguar's
Oh, okay.
shop.
Okay, so that's
It's run by
I'm slightly
Fanatics.
closer to 14 than I am, but otherwise
Seven.
I'm
Yeah.
well, it depends on the shoe. I think Nikes I usually wear at 10.5. A lot of shoes I wear 11, so it depends on the shoe.
Yeah, that's the thing I've had to learn. Like Nikes, even though a 10 is generally what I wear, it can vary between a 9.5 and a 10.5.
Nikes I can pretty much walk in and buy a 10.5 and be safe.
Yeah.
I've learned over the years, but a lot of other shoes, like I think Reeboks have to buy 11s. And
every shoe I have to try on individually, which fucking sucks.
the
'cause of my
Jor-
Nikes are the
duck
only
feet.
ones I've ever just been able to be like, I can buy them as long as they're not the runner shoes.
The Jordans I ordered at 10, and I'm just like, I hope it works.
Good luck.
And thank God it worked.
Nice.
Same with these.
My feet are too wide for
Though
runner shoes.
these were not as expensive as fucking Jordans, I'll say that.
Yeah.
But
I guess Usain Bolt just has like little tiny skate feet or something. I mean, I guess that's what runners have, tiny thin feet or somehow. I don't know.
skate
Yes.
feet.
Skate feet.
Skate feet, not skeet feet. So a couple weeks ago, I was in Target picking up some supplies for game day, for opening day, and I looked down. I went by the team apparel section, and I was like, "Oh, there's a new hat. I should get a new hat."
That was at Target?
No, it wasn't.
Oh, okay. I was going to
Was it
say.
at Leeds?
No, it wasn't at Leeds.
Looks like that way.
No, what?
At Leeds.
The fuck is Leeds?
Lids.
Lids.
That's a
Oh,
hat store.
lids.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I was just saying it stupidly.
So I looked down and I was like, "Oh, I like that hat. I should get that to replace this hat." And I pick it up and I look at it and I go find one of those mirrors and I take my old hat off and I put this new hat on, and it's exactly the same hat except with the updated logo. And I was like, "Fuck that. I'm not paying $25 for the same logo hat." So I threw it down and had been looking for a hat. Went to the game this past Sunday.
Oh, good.
Sweating my balls off just to watch the Jaguars lose to the fucking Texans.
Suck.
Yeah.
I
No,
went to the,
it was a disgrace.
It
The
was.
only reason it was overshadowed is because there were two bigger disgraces on the same day.
the Miami Dolphins beat the Denver Broncos 70-20.
That was 7-0.
7-0,
It was
70.
like a college score.
Oh, that was like what we did to the Dolphins in the playoffs way back. Dan
It-
Marino's
that
last
was
game.
59-3.
Yeah.
God,
I thought it was
fucking
60, I thought it was
remember.
63. Was it? I thought it was in the 60s. No, is it 59?
Pretty sure it was 59.
99% sure it was 59-3. But either way, it was enough.
That's the most points scored in an NFL game since 1966.
Was Will Chamberlain in that one?
Yes. Anyway,
I mean, I know he plays
Yeah.
several sports. I'm not just
Yeah, and,
generally being stupid. He
and
was
the
actually like
Bears-
a world champion volleyball player too.
yeah. And the Bears are fucking terrible as well.
the Bears got shit on as well, right?
Yeah.
By
yeah.
the chefs? Is
Yes.
it the chefs? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like 40-something to 3.
And that's the thing. Like the Jags played the Chiefs well. They just
I
fucked
know.
up that 4th and 5. If they hadn't gone for it on 4th and 5, I think it would have been a different game.
Well, we ran a sneak play on 4th and 2. That was
Yeah.
dumb.
Right, is this real football yet?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
didn't
Yeah.
know what's-
Yeah.
I don't know what's
But
going
I
on.
mean, the Chiefs game, they kept it close. The defense played well. You know,
The
as well as
defense
you
played incredible.
Yeah,
for,
because I mean,
yeah,
like the Chiefs is basically like, just they're like an ex-wife. They're just waiting for you to fuck up.
Yeah, exactly.
And-
Their offense is so good; they can score at any time,
Yeah.
and you don't have to make a mistake for them to win.
Yeah.
They can just beat you because they're fucking better than you, and we played them pretty hard. Anyway, so I was looking for anything during halftime. I was like, anything that will make me feel better about life in general, and also any place that's cool instead of being a balmy 1,000,000 degrees. And I found the pro shop, and I found that hat, and I was like, this is going to turn it around. A new hat,
It's gonna fix the
a
season.
new hat.
Pro shop, is that at the stadium?
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay, I don't know. I'm just asking. I mean, it sounds like a golf thing.
yeah,
It does.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's a professional shop.
Okay.
it is.
That's where you buy the prostitutes.
Yes. So I went in and bought that hat. Also, it's white, so my head would stop baking as much in the intense 1,000,000,000-degree heat of the mid-September sun.
I still have a dream. I just haven't been able to cash it in. I need a new hat. I have a hat. I know a hat that I want. I just can't find it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and
What do you
I want a 3930
Okay.
New Era Montgomery Biscuits hat with the logo. Minor League Baseball team. Oh, you're going to go to the shop and you're going to be disappointed because it's not there.
No 3930s.
I look at all the time.
I keep telling Jen I want a jumbo shrimp hat. I would go for that for my birthday. She never gets me one.
I've never set foot in. I've been in Alabama. I think I've been in Mobile, but I've never been to Montgomery. But it's I love their logo.
I would get a steamed cheeseburgers hat.
You said 3930?
Yeah. I had like a large, extra large. You see it? I've looked so many fucking times. If like this one time I bring it
Marvel
up,
3930.
Huh?
Marvel 3930.
Marble?
That's what it's called. Marvel
Okay. Does that just
3930.
mean it's like more than one color?
I don't know. This is Montgomery Biscuits. Come over here and look
All
at
right.
it.
Because if it's got, I mean, because
there's
I've seen
some
ones
good
that are
ones.
just like their name or whatever, but I want the biscuit logo on it.
Oh, you want the M with the biscuit?
Well, no, not necessarily the M, just like the biscuit logo.
Okay. Okay. Because they've got this guy.
Oh, they got like the anteater one.
Yeah. Sorry. No, you don't like that one?
How about this one?
Biscuit guy, with the button where his tongue is a pat of butter.
This one?
Yeah.
His tongue is bacon.
That's like a bacon version of it. Bacon biscuit guy.
Yeah.
How about this one?
Yeah, that's closer. That's closer.
They don't have it in LXL, but
Fanatics does have it.
I'll have to look again because I swear I've looked before and like they'll have 930s or they'll have the 5930s, which is the flat build ones or whatever. 59.
Macy's has one.
Whatever. The
So you want just the biscuit dude, right?
Basically. I love that logo.
That's fair. There's also that one.
Yeah, I don't mind if it's the peeking around the M thing. That's okay.
This
one
is
is
the
not
one I
available.
want.
But I've seen more when it's just literally just him like going, ha!
Hartford steamed cheeseburgers.
That's pretty good.
That's the one I want.
Pretty good, yeah.
I like that one. As far as ones that aren't comical, the Savannah Ghost Pirates, pretty good.
Oh man, Savannah Ghost Pirates.
Yeah.
You gotta see that one. Oh man, look at
I
this
think it's
one.
pretty good.
It's green. He's holding. Oh
But yeah, like
shit!
I just like
it's a
I've,
donut.
I've never like had a logo speak to me more. Where I was like, it me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's a 5950.
When I saw
Oh,
this,
fuck that.
when I saw that his
Hudson
tongue was
Valley
a pat of
cider
butter,
donuts.
that's what did it. I was
You
like,
saw what?
When I saw that his tongue was a pat of butter, I was
Yeah.
like, that's
It's great work.
Yeah.
Absolutely great work. They had another Jaguars 9.
I probably do need to get a jumbo strip hat though. Just rep the hometown.
Oh man, the Altoona pizzas.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
It's like a slice of deep dish. It's a horrible hat though.
I feel like if you
hate
just go
that color
to
scheme.
Fanatics or MLB
That's
shop,
also, is that a 5950?
I think
Yeah.
I think Shop MLB or MLB Shop is Fanatics, but
It is for NFL.
yeah, I think that you can see all the minor league baseball teams if you click. There's some way to see like all the other ones and
Yeah.
see all the logos and shit. Because I
Did you stop recording, by the way?
no, I should. Yes, I should. Sorry.
Yeah, he's.
I'm
gonna
fucking with you.
He'll stop at the right time.
It's
He knows.
no.
when
I'm
to
just
stop.
saying like the end doesn't make any sense. You know where the end of the file is.
So they do
This
have
would be
that hat
BS.
that I showed you in a 3930 for Jaguars.
Okay.
Same exact style. But you like 3930s.
Yeah,
I
I do.
don't think they fit my head very well.
It's so the only thing that bothers me is like I've given to just wearing the large, extra large because I can get away with. I think my problem is my head is a large, and so like when I wear the LXL, it's a little loose, but I think I like it that way.
Yeah.
Whereas I wear the other one, it's like just a little too snug that like it kind of annoys me by the end of the day.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Fresno Grizzlies Taco Tuesday hat.
Nice. That's a good one. They had this one,
Oh yeah.
which looks great. They had it in a 920.
Was that like rainbow logo Jaguar? Okay,
Yeah.
it's a little
And it's
shiny over here.
It's supporting some sort of thing.
Pride thing.
Yeah, some sort of pride thing. But it's got a big fucking patch on the side that is. It's not even a patch. It's embroidered directly into the hat. And I don't mind like showing support for that organization. It's not one of the shitty fake charities.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the patch was just fucking huge.
Oh,
obnoxious.
yeah. I mean, I have a thing. I just call me old or whatever, but like I don't mind getting a little fancy with like piping or whatever on the side of the brim, but I don't like. I mean, if the whole thing is a wraparound design, that's one thing. But I just it sort of hits that Honda Element vibe where you if you have something too prominent on one side, it's like it's like this is off centered and it looks wrong. So it tickles that same thing where I see like Silken Goku shirts where I'm like that is too busy. Whatever's
much,
going
yeah.
on there,
Yeah.
it's like no, stop it.
Man, the Lansing lug nuts. That's a good one too.
Lansing,
I like that.
Missouri?
Lansing lug nuts.
Is that Missouri?
I have
Or
no
Michigan?
idea.
Michigan, yeah. It was one of those
Yeah.
M states.
There's one. No, those are not hats. They're headbands. Oh, they're headbands.
Speaking of, like, this is a really dumb ask, but if you ever feel the time, this is for Mackie. If you ever feel like designing a sports logo in your free time and want to make a Jox logo, Jox,
Yeah.
just because I realized how great it is to have the Jocks as a football or a sports team for my, I would like to have a
Yeah.
logo to place into them somehow, because I'm using something, but that's. But yeah, that's a great sports name. Jox.
And we should have done that like 10 years ago.
Yeah, I realize that like we probably need that, but I'm just saying if you're ever bored and you're like want to do something, like a logo-fied version of a mech or something.
Yeah, I'd have to think about how I would do it. I almost feel like
Don't think, just do it. We need it by Friday.
yeah, I almost think Tobias would be better suited for it.
Don't think, just do it. We need it by Friday.
No, I mean no pressure whatsoever. I just
I'm
thought
trying
you
to
might-
recreate like the work environment.
Yeah,
so
I thought it might
makes his
be
juices
something you
work.
might actually want to do. Like, it could, if you make it not one sports centric and just kind of a generic sports logo look, you could use it in like Forza and our cars and shit like that too. What I mean, saying we could get it into like whatever game. I don't. I didn't actually fire up a.
I would say I would. Oh, I went deaf in one
Okay,
ear.
I mean, what's wrong about it?
That's great. I just know that
The problem is
the
someone would
wrong
wanna,
people would want to
yeah.
talk about Jesus with me. There we go.
Well, that's when you just
back?
be like, I actually meant Jesus. So. Fuck off.
Yeah.
There's one that just has Carnitas, but it's with the Nintendo logo.
I really, if that wasn't a flat cap, I would love it.
Oh, you could bend
Put
it.
that on a 9. I know, but they never look right. They're also
I
the
know.
flat brim caps have such a huge crown.
Yeah.
Like I think I already have I don't think I have a long head, but like my beard makes my head look longer, and I just look like a fucking space alien when I wear those.
yeah.
Even with the rolled brim, with the flat brim, I look like I just walked out of Wolfson's Children's Hospital.
Yeah, I don't think you actually saw me play any of the
I need
games
this.
on my NBA, like my own personal stadium that I designed. But you can, one of the things you can do is you can put the ads that are on the scorekeeper's table and stuff. You can change those. So I've got, I've got like Marvel Studios. I mean, the boring ones that I got is I've got like a Reese's logo. I've got Marvel Studios. I've got a Better Call Saul ad, and I've got it's a Old English 1800 or what is it? Is it 1800? Is that the malt liquor or 1600? It's a number. Fuck.
800.
It's yeah. Whatever that malt liquor company, but it's like a picture with like Eazy-E and it's pretty great.
800.
800. Is it 800? I would say 1800. It's too many. I was trying to make it fancier. But yeah. I'm just saying it's fun because like you're just sitting there playing the game and you look over to the side. It's like there's just stupid thing flashing by on there. There's Saul Goodman going.
Like it.
They had a
I think I have a Waffle House logo on there too.
they had this really sharp J logo in the pro shop on like a T-shirt or something, and I can't find it anymore.
For Jesus.
No, for Jaguars.
Oh.
Jaguars. But it's like a J with a sort of serif, but the serif looks like the Jaguar eye from the current logo.
I didn't know they changed their logo. Is that the new logo? Is that the old logo?
I think that is the new logo because it's kind of
Yeah,
squinty.
because this is like 4 years old, I think.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that the logo changed.
They
I mean,
altered it slightly.
Yeah,
It's
they-
not.
the only logo change I'm aware of is when they were like, "Hey, this looks too close to the Jaguar car company."
That was the first one. The hat that the Jags hat that I have had for a long time.
That was
is
even before they started playing
the
this.
second one, with the teal tongue.
Was that an iteration? I thought they went straight from Jaguar logo to teal tongue. No.
They did,
Oh, okay.
They tweaked it somewhat.
but they tweaked it, and they tweaked it like 7 or 8 years ago again, and then they tweaked it this time to make it like a flatter, and the ears more flat back, and the eyes are a little bit more squinty and aggressive, I guess.
Yeah, because the old one looked like this.
Yeah,
The old one sucked. Well, and then there was.
I like that one.
Then
That
there
one
was
feels
this
like
shit.
that one was better.
Yeah, but apparently they're going away from.
But the swipe, I didn't really.
I guess the thing I never really understood was like, why was this cat just eating gushers?
Teal. We got to throw that.
I
Throw a little teal in there.
Can make his eyes teal or something. I don't know.
My understanding is they're moving away from gold as a color. For that's more. Just
Well, it's devalued.
Teal and black.
Yeah. I
They're going to
understand that, and I don't
cryptocurrency,
like it.
Yeah.
I like teal and gold. I think teal and
Yeah,
gold
I
looks
agree.
good together.
Yep. So there's only been 3. There was the Jaguar car one that they ditched, and then that more flattened one from before, and then the one with more of an accent across the
Okay. Yeah.
temple, so to speak.
So
Wow. So did really the fat head lasted that long, huh?
Yeah, 94 to 2013. 20 years.
And the squintier one is was from
2013 to
2013.
now.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're doing a good job in their products then of making it look modern.
Yeah.
I think my different sport, but uniform related. I think my favorite uniform of anybody that I've seen lately is I don't know why, but I really like the Utah Jazz yellow-ish outfits they have. They should be ugly as sin, but they're fucking great. I don't know. They look so like old school.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're nice. Like, I don't know why. I just really like that. Nice looking uniform.
The uniforms that I don't like, or that I like that I shouldn't like because they are objectively ugly, and nobody else likes them, and that's the correct take, is to not like them.
Sure.
The Jags Color Rush Gold
Oh, the
jerseys,
mustards.
the mustards.
Oh, I fucking hate.
Everybody
the mustards
hates the
so
mustards.
Much.
And it's correct. It's correct to
I
hate
hate
the mustard,
them so much.
but I really like them because it's just fucking bizarre, and
Uh.
it's Bortles era Jaguars.
Yeah.
I want a Color Rush Bortles jersey, like a nice one, because I'm a fucking monster.
You kind of are.
Yeah. But yeah, I wish they would do a new Color Rush, but do it in gold instead of mustard. I think that would be sick as shit.
Yeah. I mean, if we're just talking objectively, like, color palettes and logos and stuff that you like, I really like the slightly updated Seattle Seahawks deal. Like,
Oh, with like that one green.
yeah,
that
it's
bright green
It's
in
it's nice looking.
It is.
I couldn't give two shits about it. I'm just saying,
Yeah,
it's
no,
one of those things
no,
where I'm
I-
like, I'm about as far from them as you can be.
Yeah,
as
and
far
I'll
as
say
fandom
this:
goes.
like when I'm really stuck on a color scheme for something,
Mm-hmm.
I just start browsing team logos,
Charlotte Hornets. That's all you need.
purple and teal.
Yes.
I feel like the Raptors have a pretty good color scheme going on nowadays since they dropped the cartoony one logo.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing with all the '90s logos were like way over designed.
Well, I mean, I read a lot. Well, I not read. I heard some sports people talking about it. I really love that. Like you listen to Talking Heads and you're like, I read this, but no. Yeah, it was just talking about like the history of that, and like it actually was. It did exactly what they needed it to do. Is that basketball was such a foreign concept to Toronto that they were like, we basically know we're not going to hook in this generation. We're going for the next. And so they were like, they made it Jurassic Park themed, and when that was hot shit, and dinosaurs and everything. And they're like, if these kids grow up long enough, we will have a dynasty, or we'll have a team that'll stick around. And it worked because like they're the only Canadian team left, and it's actually pretty popular.
Oh yeah, their fans are complete assholes.
So I'm just saying it worked. I mean,
Yeah.
is that just based on Drake alone, or does it just everybody?
What?
I don't know the asshole comment. I was like, is that?
Oh,
Does it start with Drake and
on
trickle down from
Twitter?
there?
On Twitter, Raptors fans are like the biggest pricks on the planet.
Oh, that's because everyone thinks Canadians are nice. They're not.
No,
They're-
no,
they're-
do
I
not
mean,
piss off Raptors fans. They are assholes.
I'm sorry, Canadians, but like I'm saying, like if like we pitched that like America was the healthiest country on the planet, and you showed up and you saw all the fat bastards here, that's pretty much what like
Yeah.
that's what we've been told our whole lives, like how polite Canadians are, but it's not true. They're fucking assholes. Not all of them, clearly, but that would be
The French ones for sure.
definitely. Yeah, I can say that as being 3/4 French. I feel like I have a right.
Yeah, but yeah, they also cheered when Kevin Durant's Achilles snapped.
Oof.
Yeah,
Oof.
They cheered that, so they're fucking done forever for me. Like, even if it was a player I hated, that's like no class shit.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah,
I would even
that's
cheer.
trash.
I wouldn't even.
Well,
cheer.
I mean, if it's a shitty person, like if Michael Vick's first week back in the league and he
Yes,
got Theismann,
yeah, but you know
Okay.
what
I
I'm
think
saying.
you get to cheer
though.
that. Yeah.
All right, sure. I'm trying to think of like, yeah.
I mean, I guess my point is like, even though it's a guy I cheered for, it's not like,
Yeah.
you know.
I might cheer if Dylan Brooks hurt himself really bad.
Of everybody, Dylan Brooks.
He's
Calling out Dylan Brooks.
he's a fucking asshole, and in more ways than one. I mean, anyway.
Unless they're like if they're an objectively bad person, I think
He is.
I think you can root for them
I'm
to get
pretty
into
sure
it.
he's done several crimes of not good intent.
Like Ndamukong Suh, that bastard. I was always happy to see him hurt because he was always hurting other people.
Yeah. Don't do that.
Fuck him.
It is not cool.
While we're talking controversial sports things,
Uh-oh.
Dennis Rodman. I mean, I'm not talking about now, but like him or hate him. Ever.
First question, refresh my memory, is Dennis Rodman a sex pest?
I don't. Well, I mean,
I know he's a sex person, a sex haver, and a weirdo.
he's a person I would not want to be anywhere close to him sexually. I mean, for multiple reasons, but I mean,
He doesn't seem to have any complaints against him.
right.
That
Okay,
I'm aware of.
good.
Yeah.
I like Dennis Rodman. Then.
Okay. I mean, yeah, it just meant like,
90s Bulls fan, so
right. I mean, I
Dennis
just meant,
Rodman showed up
like
and
talking
did
about
things.
now, like hanging out with the Kim Jongs of the world and stuff. And
I think that's just like prime weirdo behavior.
Yeah,
I don't think
yeah.
it legitimizes Kim Jong.
no, I mean, I'm just
Either.
saying, like, maybe it doesn't generally like.
Haha, you have Austin Heckler too. It sucks for us, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm 1 and 2.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, I just like. I don't think I mean, generally hanging out with like people that are accused of war crimes and all that kind of stuff is generally not a good idea.
The whole buds with Kim Jong.
Right. That
sounds
that
great.
yeah. I mean, it's like hanging out with Putin. Like it's like that's not a good look.
I did not like him as a player because he was a dirty player.
He's a dirty
Which
player.
is how he
yeah.
got so many rebounds.
I'm just saying, like, it's controversial person. I just don't know how I feel about him. Effective, you can't deny that.
You got Tua?
No, I did not. Who I played last week had Tua and
Christ.
Tyreek Hill.
Oh Christ!
I put up good points for having an awful team, and I still got fucking dunked on.
Rodman's one of those people I think he should have had an in-game card, but he didn't. I just think that like he's of that. I mean, I feel like almost everybody on the '96 Bulls team should probably have an in-game card because it's the fucking '96 Bulls, and
Right.
like, you will not find a better all-around team.
I also have Joe Burrow.
I mean,
who
unless
put
you
up
want
3 points.
Unless you want to be that asshole, this is what is it the 2014 Warriors? Is that when they broke the record? Is that what year it was?
2016.
16. But I'm saying if you're going to be one of those like by the numbers guys, but I'm guarantee if you put the 2016 Warriors up against the 96 Bulls with the 96 Bulls rules, the Warriors would score
Yeah,
12 points.
yeah. they would because they get fouled every single
Yeah.
play. And as the Cavs proved, that's how you stop Steph. Is you just fucking punch him every time he gets across half court. So
Sorry. sure everybody's tuned out for our
Sports talk.
sports talk.
This is the one time a year we talk about sports, so deal with it
We talk about it more often.
Occasionally. I mean, it came up when I
in depth.
did my Mos Def fuck up. We talked
Oh,
about
yeah.
sports for too much because
Oh, that's
I
right.
realized
forgot about
who
that.
Sadiq Bey was. I don't think he's actually on the Hawks anymore. That's just who drafted him. I don't know where he
Yeah.
plays now. But he was part of that crazy 2020 draft with all the big dudes. Like,
Yeah. All right, I gotta get
Are
out
we
of
done?
here.
All right, internet. Nice to see you. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you all next time. Say hello to your mother for me.
Yeah.
doo,